military life at a very young age. I used to go to Command and Staff College, Jaji, from the age of 9. There was a lady there, Professor Margaret Vogt. She was Director of Studies at Command and Staff College. She was instrumental by getting into military school a year after. And when I go to her office, the conversations we were having, I was 9 years old. I mean, I was thinking about this when I was preparing for this speech. 9 years old, and we're having discussions on military strategy. So my life was crafted for me back then. Well, incidentally, Professor Margaret Vogt was actually my mother's sister. So that gave me a lot of leverage. I think I knew a lot about military strategy before people even knew what an army was. So I was fortunate. I went to military school, I joined the army. After that, I was supposed to go to ECOMOG, Liberia, but this was me, barely 16 years old. I was excited about going to ECOMOG, but my mother did everything to make sure I didn't go. And so, bam, I didn't get my chance to go to war. Into Defense Academy, well, it didn't work out. I didn't pass the first time, and there was no way I was going to try a second time. Somehow I just became disillusioned. I went to university. Incidentally, this university, I studied electrical and computer engineering. Well, then it was electrical, electronics, and computer. I had an incident. There was an incident that occurred in 1998. Somehow I was arrested for a coup, which was stupid and crazy, but then I didn't want to join the army. I would have gone for my commissioning, but then I said, no, the army is a dumb place. I didn't join the army. And then I found yes, I did find myself in telecoms. I've noticed that if you want to interest me, just mention military or war. If there's a book, the book can be 500 pages. Once there's anything military, I'm going to read that book end to end. Meanwhile, you can give me a book of 40 pages and I'll struggle to read that book if it's anything that doesn't relate to military or war. That is my own nature. So when I saw the letter, I said, wow, who is the person that, who wrote that invitation? You? What do you know about me? I don't know, but it excited me. Just to let you know, I'm supposed to be in Benin Republic right now. I actually canceled that trip because I said, I came in yesterday. I said, I have to be here. So my son even sent me a message yesterday and said, how is Benin? And I said, no, I'm not in Benin. I came to Mina. He said, but I was going to Benin. I said, no, I canceled that one. I thought you knew. Because I think it's important. I think it's important. Joel has given a very good introduction. We will not go anywhere until you understand that you are fighting war. Let me just paint a scenario for you. We have a problem with ginger in Nigeria now. Ginger, the root. Yeah, ginger. You know ginger? Not ginger as in ginger your swagger. Ginger, the root. The harvest of ginger this year has been exceptionally low. Why? Well, they didn't figure it out early, but they found out that about 3 years ago, they started to import pesticides from USA. They just found out this year that those pesticides have been reducing the yield of ginger constantly over the years, so that it's terrible this year. Meanwhile, Nigerian ginger is about the best in the world. That's the one that they grow in Kaduna State, especially. It's the most potent. It's known to be the most potent. So what apparently happened is that there was war, unknown to us. You see, interestingly, Africa is the only continent within reasonable knowledge that has not actively conquered any, or Africans have not actively conquered any other country. The only fights that we have are amongst ourselves. There is no strategy, there is no plan, there is no forecast on how to conquer another country. I know I may sound like a warmonger, but I'm not. The fact is, if you are not planning to conquer, then they say you are either running to catch your prey or you are running away from. So Africa is just running away from predators. So Africa is just a case, like the Americans should have a plan for us. There are many countries, by the way, in Africa that only set their budget after the USA or Britain has set their budget. And so their own budget is based on how much aid they are getting from USA, Britain, or China. That's Africa for you. I don't think that's a way to live. I think you are in perpetual slavery. This is the Africa that we are going to have in the year 2050. 59% of the global working age population will be African. 59% of the workforce of the world by 2050 will be African. That's just 25 years from now. Think about it. It's a big number. Almost 60%. Now, I don't know what the population is right now, but let me tell you this. I worked with a company called Ericsson. Many people don't know Ericsson because Ericsson is not a mass market company. If you lived in the 90s or 2000s, you may know Ericsson because they used to make these nice phones, Ericsson, and then they became Sony Ericsson when they merged with Sony. Ericsson makes the technology, or their prime, what you call OEM, original equipment manufacturer, of the telecoms equipment that drives the telecoms networks. So, of course, you have heard of Huawei. Huawei is exactly what Ericsson is. It's just that Ericsson is a Swedish company. So I worked with Ericsson, and that was a truly global company. This was after I had left MTN. With Ericsson, I was exposed to a world that I didn't know existed. What I quickly found out, I was a project manager, and I spent a lot of my time outside the country. In every country I went to, the number one nationality that you will want to work with is Nigerian. I worked on a project in one country. We had a chief technical officer for MTN. Rami was his name, Rami Farah. And then everybody said, no, Rami is racist and Rami is this. I said, no, I don't think he's racist. I think he just has certain standards. I met those standards. I think I exceeded those standards. Just because I had a certain attitude to work. It's not that I don't think I worked harder than anybody else. I just think it was in me to put in extra. And so what happened was, we were working on a project, and every morning, I'll go into the office. Before 7 o'clock, I'm there with my team, instructing my team. I didn't know Rami was always seeing this. Every evening, by 5, I was there also. Now, it doesn't matter what I did between 8 o'clock and 4. The important thing was that 7 o'clock I was there, instructing. 5 o'clock I was there, reviewing. Anything I asked Rami for, he granted, including freezing the whole network. People will tell me, no, it's impossible, Rami will fry me. And I'll just sit down, I'll say, Rami, we need to freeze the network. And he will look and he will complain and he'll say, but it's you. So I'm going to do it. Why? Why did he grant me these concessions? Because we were doing some installation on another project, and in the rain, I said, there is no way rain will stop us from working. So we ordered canopies, tents, so that they could work on site inside the rain. We were working at midnight. We got all sorts of security. Rami was like, he has never seen this. When I heard Rami's story, he was CTO in MTN Rwanda, and he was in a hotel where other Ericsson staff were staying. And the Kenyans like to party. The Kenyans in East Africa, the Kenyans dominate. They are really the tech guys. In fact, in Africa, it's only that Nigeria is not too welcoming to any other nationality. If not, the Kenyans would have dominated us here. They are far ahead of us in the application of technology. No question. Nigeria is lagging behind in the application of technology. Far. The Kenyans are way ahead. And so, naturally, Kenyans lead in companies like Ericsson. And so he went to meet them about 10 o'clock at night and says, oh, the switch is down. And they looked at him and said, yeah, but this is 10 o'clock. And he makes all sorts of concessions. They refused to do that work. So from that day, Rami did not like anybody Kenyan. In fact, he will actually ask you in a meeting, where are you from? If you say Kenyan, he will tell you, please, thank you for wasting your time and thank you for wasting your money. I don't want to work with you. And so when I found out the reason, I said, oh, okay, no wonder. When I left Uganda, I know Rami wasn't happy. In fact, he didn't talk to me for a long while. But I said, look, I have my own career to work with. I wasn't happy about the team in Uganda. That's why I left. Anyway, that. I just want to highlight what our workforce, what we are able to do as Nigerians. All around the world, all the multinationals, either the chief financial officer, chief marketing officer, chief sales officer, or the CEO will be Nigerian. Any multinational company, Pepsi, Coca-Cola, any of the UN organizations, any of these companies. The only country that matches us in work ethic is Zimbabwe. And there are not enough Zimbabweans to match the number of Nigerians. If you go to London, it's either a Nigerian or a Zimbabwean that is working overtime, working 4 jobs. Other countries, they want to relax. It's only a Nigerian that you can tell to skip Christmas and work. Only a Nigerian. If South African, they are knowledgeable, but they will not work beyond 5 o'clock in the evening. 5 o'clock, they're out. To get them to work, you have to pay them substantially. Only a Nigerian will say, okay, I'll do it. So we are very appealing to the world out there. In case you don't know, please know now. We had a program in Ericsson's skill acquisition program. Everybody that was on that program, within 2 years, they were working abroad. And when I say abroad, it was USA, Canada, Britain, some Japan. Work ethic. So when we are now 59% or 60% of the global workforce, what impact then will we have? 25% of the world's population by 2050 will be African. Now Nigeria is going to grow to 450 million people by 2050. We are how many now? About 230 million. So we're effectively going to double. Now, that in itself just tells you a lot. You need twice the number of universities. You need twice the number of pure water companies, twice the number of petrol stations, twice the number of cars, twice the number of houses, at least. So it tells you you're in a good place. Africa will be a $29 trillion economy by 2050. And then the African Continental Free Trade Area will be a major driver of growth. Now, if you want to import something like flowers, you know, flowers that grow, roses, let me use roses. If you want to import roses, the number one place to import roses from is Holland. The interesting thing is that Kenya is a major exporter of roses to Holland. If a Nigerian wants to import roses, instead of going to Kenya, he will first go to Holland and import the same roses that the Kenyans have exported to Holland, and then he'll import it to Nigeria. If you want to make a phone call, it's cheaper to call UK, Britain, or the USA than to call Benin Republic. It's expensive to call, try it. Or to call Ghana. I'm talking landline, I'm not talking of WhatsApp or OTTs, over-the-top technologies. Landline. So thank God WhatsApp came, Skype was there. If you want to fly to Benin Republic, I think a ticket is right now about 350,000 naira. Benin Republic is just next door to Nigeria. It's about a 30-minute drive from Lagos, mile 2 in Lagos to Seme border. The road is good now, so it takes about 30 or 40 minutes. And yet it costs about 350,000 naira to buy a ticket, one-way ticket, to go to Cotonou. I believe that Nigeria was specifically positioned in the midst of Francophone countries so that there are several advantages that we cannot take advantage of. Every country around Nigeria is the Francophone country. If you think it's a chance, please think again. It was deliberate. Because even as you have the Francophone countries, yet look at the bond that we share with Ghana. I know, yes, on Twitter you have a lot of rift with Ghanaians and all, but all that rift is because it's like sibling rivalry. A strong Nigeria is a threat to the world. When Nigeria was ECOMOG, when we ran ECOMOG in the 90s, the world shook They said, oh wow, Africans can organize themselves. If you go to Liberia, I don't know if you've been to Liberia. I have been to Liberia. I've been to almost every African country. If you go to Liberia, you will think you are in Nigeria. You will see names like General Maxwell Kobe on almost every school or hospital. General Inienga, General Husseini. All these Nigerian generals are honored and worshipped in Sierra Leone and Liberia. Unfortunately, all these names I've mentioned, I'm sure you don't know any of them. So we've had a country that has done a lot. Apartheid. Nigeria supported South Africa blood and bone through apartheid. Sponsored the ANC. Sponsored people, all the rebels. Were taking care of them, sending them money, training them in our universities. Yet we have nothing to show. And yet the South Africans have contempt for us. How dare they have contempt for you? You have no idea what we did for South Africa. None. But this is the trend that we have continued, because the African has always thought that life is nice and rosy. Nobody is fighting you. How wrong can you be? You are fighting a war. The very survival of France depends on countries like Niger, Burkina Faso, Mali, Benin. If they lose their grip, the French will not be able to have chocolate and tea. The same thing goes for Britain. Suddenly Britain has now said Nigeria is a lovely place to invest. They've now opened their borders and said we can export over 3,500 different commodities to the UK. What has changed? The same UK that was saying that our yam is not good enough to export to their country and allowing Ghanaian yam in. What has changed? They need money. The world is at war. Effectively, you are in a third world war, in case you didn't know. You are in the third world war. So the first thing is we have that mindset of, being friendly. Everybody is your friend. I have not seen an African spy. Never. The only work DSS does, if you are DSS here, sorry, but the only work DSS does is to harass political opponents. Never to go out there and be gathering espionage and intelligence against another country. No plan, no strategy on how to even conquer Benin Republic. Yet Benin, petrol in Nigeria is how much? How much is petrol in Nigeria? 1,000 naira. You drive 20 kilometers. I go to Kebbi quite often. I was there just about 3 weeks ago. 20 kilometers, a place called Kamba, if you are from Kebbi State. Kamba. You drive 20 kilometers into Niger. 1 liter of petrol, 5,500 naira. They've closed the borders officially, but they depend on almost every single import from Nigeria. I know they have refineries, but I don't know what they are doing with their own fuel, because they depend on our own fuel. Yet, we do not have any strategy to Cameroon. Very lazily, no argument. They were just skirmishes. We lost a lot of soldiers, but nothing has happened. Anyway, so how do we move forward? So first, you understand you have a mindset problem. Attitude of looking at life from the lens of non-conflict and peace, and then being run by organizations like the Red Cross and co. It will not help you in any way. So first thing you need to know is that the art of war is of vital importance to the state. Any nation that does not have a strategy for war, that nation will be dominated. I know somebody will be quick to say, oh, Switzerland does not have a stand army, that's a peaceful nation. No. Switzerland has chosen to concentrate on finance. And what is the major weapon of war? Gold. Money. So they're happy to finance wars around the world, and that's how they keep their own economy running. If you try and attack Switzerland, Britain will come after you. Germany will come after you. France will come after you. The USA will come after you. They have domiciled a lot of money in Switzerland. And money is the #1 weapon of war. War is a matter of life and death, or a strategy for war is a matter of life and death. It's a road to either safety or to ruin. Hence, it is a subject of inquiry that can on no account be neglected. So that's why you have all these command and staff colleges. You have institutes of policy and strategic studies. This is the reason you have all the war colleges. The study of war is not just for battle dramatics. No, that's the very survival of your economy. The strongest nations have the strongest militaries. The strongest nations economically have the strongest militaries. People say, oh, China is developing a military. China has always been, look, since 1670, China has been the second largest economy in the world. Second largest. But the Chinese always thought that, no, if we act enough drama and theater, we do enough plays, we'll be a great country. And then the Japanese, small Japan, went and dealt with massive China. They call China the weak man of Asia, or the sick man of Asia, whichever one you choose to use. China did not have a military strategy. They preferred to be friendly until they were dealt with severely. How of about 1 million people today have dealt with a China of 1.6 billion people? It's because of the mindset that China had. So China realized that, nah, if you don't have a strong military, you cannot have a strong economy. And so everything has changed for China. I'm hoping the same will change for Africa. Now, how do we move forward? How many minutes do I have more? How many more minutes? 7. Okay. Okay. So now how? How do we move forward? We're not going to move forward by doing anything, scaling anything that we have been doing so far. No, we have to change everything that we have been doing. You will not move forward by growing more corn or building more refineries. Talking about refineries, how many people know that Nigeria is a net importer of crude oil today? So in spite of the crude oil that you produce, Dangote had to make a deal with the United States so that they allow his refinery. So he imports almost all his crude from the United States. And that is why Dangote refinery is working. If not, they would have shut down that refinery. So the US is happy to sell crude. So war is about military might, is about trade also. The United States can bring that bargaining chip because they have a strong military. And they have strong intelligence. They have a dossier. How many people have heard of the Epstein files? They have a dossier on almost everybody. They use that. That is military intelligence. I don't know, does Nigeria have anything like this? We need to start having things, and not just, oh, you know, oh, this person embezzled 500 billion, okay, you take him to court, oh, when he joins your party, then you forgive him. That's the extent of our DSS and EFCC. It's pitiful. And it stems from corruption. Everybody wants to make for themselves. So how do we move forward? Let me rush quickly. Speed and efficiency are paramount. We were not early to the battlefield. We are late. If you read the book, How Britain Conquered Africa, this is how Britain conquered Africa. The British call for a meeting, 8 a.m., let's meet. Africans typically don't get there at 8 a.m. The British are there at 8 a.m. By 8:15, they've drafted the minutes of the meeting, written all the agreements, not one African present in those meetings, but they have written how the Africans have agreed to give up this land and these resources. They sign, and then when the Africans come, they chastise them for being late and say, oh, they ended, you just sign here. That is how Britain, look, I'm not kidding. That is how they conquered Africa. And I have seen that play out in the corporate world too. So I found out, I had a brutal time working in MTN and working in Ericsson. I had to be at a high level of professionalism and proficiency. And I thought people would appreciate it. I thought they would like, you know, when an African is great. No, they don't. Because they did not come here to play. They came here to take over. But here I was ready to take over the job of my managers. So I was fighting a long, drawn battle. The senior guys, the CEOs liked me. But then the guys that I was reporting to directly did not like me, because here I was ready for manager. And of course, they didn't want to go back to their country. The other people were disillusioned. In fact, when I got to Tanzania, it was clear in my face. First day I got in, bam, sat down in meeting. A young guy comes up, chief technical officer, Jerome. Jerome was barely 30. He was from Belgium. Jerome looked at me, he said, Akin, you will not be able to roll out this network. I said, what? Is that a threat? He said, no, it's not a threat. Why? He has seen my CV, he has seen what I've done in Nigeria, in Kenya, in Uganda, in Malaysia. But here in Tanzania, I won't be able to do anything. I calmed down, I said, why do you say so, Jerome? He said, yeah, you see, these Tanzanians, they don't think, you can't get them to think at that high level. Wow, I looked, I said, this is such an insult. Jerome, you earn your salary from Tanzania. If there's no Tanzania, you will not be earning this money you're earning. Your network wouldn't be making the money they're making. And yet you have this thinking about Tanzanians. So I made a point. I said I was going to make sure that I replace every single foreigner with a Tanzanian. I had that power. And so I started. And when I started, they thought it was a joke. I started to remove every single foreigner. So I brought in Kenyans. So Tanzania is unfortunate, or has the unfortunate, is the unfortunate position where in your primary school you only learn Swahili, and you learn in Swahili. It's only in secondary school that you're now introduced to English. So they may be brilliant engineers, brilliant doctors, but they cannot express themselves in the language of technology, which is English. And so I started, it was a coup, it was military. Started to replace foreigners, first with Kenyans, and then I got fresh people out of university. You don't see them coming, and this is the strategy of war. All war is deception. Please, write it. All war is deception. You are fighting war. I started to replace them. People who were earning $8,000 a month. I remember there was one lady, Doreen. I did not hate Doreen. She was Filipino. But I was wondering, why would I pay Doreen $8,000? She was earning $9,000 a month. Why would I pay her $9,000 a month? When I could pay these guys fresh out of school $150 a month. And so I called them for a meeting. 3 of them, I warned them. I said, do you know how to use AutoCAD? They said, no. I said, you have 2 weeks. Learn AutoCAD or you are out. They all learned AutoCAD. Doreen went on leave. I didn't renew the contract for Doreen to come back. Lovely lady, I liked her. But I wasn't happy of the fact that Doreen had a 6-month-old baby that she had left with her husband at home. I said, what kind of money are you looking for? That, okay, bring your baby even and come and stay here. She said, no, she can't. And I said, no problem. But I didn't renew her contract. My boss called me, oh, why did I renew? How? I said, these Tanzanians are doing the work already. If I go back to Tanzania, in fact, they've given me a title in Tanzania now. They say, Umkoto Wesizwe, which means the spear of the nation. I'm not kidding, this is serious. Because there was no Tanzanian contractor that was doing work above $1 million. No, $500,000. I looked and I laughed. I cleaned out all the other contractors. I called Tanzanian contractors. I said, where are you struggling? I provided the resources for them. Brought in Kenyans, worked with them, and then, for the first time, a Tanzanian company won Contractor of the Year in East Africa, doing over $50 million in projects within 1 year. It could not have happened any other way. The British had brought in the Indians to take over, and they will keep telling you the same thing, that you don't have the capacity, you don't have the ability. This is one advantage you have as a Nigerian, that you have a certain spirit. I don't know where it comes from, maybe Jaja of Opobo, maybe all these people who fought the British those many years. Africa, Nigeria in particular, there are not enough white people in Nigeria. If you go to any other African country, go to Cotonou, white people walk all over the streets. Ghana, same thing. It's only in Nigeria that you can count the number of foreigners that you will see. It's hostile. And why is it hostile? It's not that we are hostile, we are welcoming, but you are too smart. So they don't like you. They really don't like you. Please, take this thing. I see people come up with things, oh, I invented this, and then somebody comes on BBC and says, oh, wow, we are giving you a grant. You are dead. You are finished. That's the end. Your project is going nowhere. You at best will just be a beneficiary of a grant, and that's where it ends. You will never earn $1 billion. Yet that is what you were set up for. Read about Michelin, the guys who made the tires. They were French. They changed the whole world of transportation by making air-filled tires. Tires then were fully rubber. They changed the whole world. They changed France. They made France a superpower. Yet you invent something, you are quick to go and present it in front of investors, foreign investors. Oh, I've invented this. They give you $50,000. You are happy. You have sold your birthright. That's the end. This is your situation. So, anyway, let me round up. So there are 4 areas that you need to take note of: military, civic, commerce, and science. Develop all the border towns. Immediately start to develop all the border towns in Nigeria. This is strategy. You need to have an overwhelming influence on your neighboring countries. And interestingly, in the 70s, under the military regimes, this is exactly what they did. So if you go to Lagos, all the cities near exactly what they did. So if you go to Lagos, all the cities near the borders were being developed. And then somebody stupidly thought that General Mobolaji Johnson, brigadier then, who became chairman of Julius Berger, they thought that he was doing it for ulterior motives. No, he was building all that infrastructure: trade fair, first stack, administrative staff college, close to the semi-border, so that Nigeria will have an overwhelming influence on Benin Republic, that Benin will, if in name they are not Nigerian, in influence we have taken over Benin. That's the only way you're going to solve your problem of insurgency in Borno State. You are going to build mega cities just by those borders, all along those areas. You're going to build mega cities in Cross River State. You will solve your piracy problems yourself. Have mega ships that down any pirate ship. You have to be deliberate. And then your foreign embassies, they are nothing. They are derelict, destitute. You walk in there, nothing is happening. Yet these are places where there should be a lot of cultural activity. Nigerian food sells well. I had a restaurant. I still run restaurants. I have a restaurant in Tanzania. In there, nothing is happening. Yet these are places where there should be a lot of cultural activity. Nigerian food sells well. I had a restaurant. I still run restaurants. I have a restaurant in Tanzania because I understood Nigerian food is in high demand all around the world. But yet it is not a national strategy. Nigerian clothes, this kaftan. There is a Tanzanian lady, she worked for UBA. She keyed in, came to pack 6 Nigerian tailors to Tanzania. She built a mansion. Within first year, I told her, Tausi, this cannot be just sewing. She said, it is. Your kaftan is of great value to other countries. Your food of great value. Of course, you know your movies. But have we harnessed any of these things? And then, lastly, please, you cannot allow rain stop you. There is no country that will move forward without a military mindset. I know you have NYSC, but I am a proponent that NYSC should be further militarized. There is no country that achieves superpower status without the deliberate militarization of their people. Somebody will argue smartly and say, no, but the United States never had such a policy, of Britain. No, they were at war. So there were times where 60% of the population were soldiers. That is why those countries have developed. This is why China has developed and is pride of the whole world. Because China has a great policy that keeps everybody in check. It's like a military state. Same thing as Russia. Africa, we don't. So this is what we need to do. Please, it rained this morning. I was here at 10 o'clock. Please, rain should not stop you. It cannot. If that rain stopped you, you are going nowhere. Nowhere. That was just rain. It wasn't a hurricane. It wasn't a thunderstorm. I am not a motivational speaker. I'll not come and tell you that things will be well and good for you. No, all of you here will run to UK once things are good for you. Or once you create some invention, you go and give one foreigner. This is not where you want to be in 2050. Until we change this mindset and have this militaristic mindset, I want to conquer Britain. I don't know I can say this on camera, but that's what I want to do. I'm not happy just traveling to Britain as a visitor. That's my own mindset. Why not colonize the people that colonized you? Thank you for your time.
Please don't stop. Don't stop until I tell you to stop.
Okay.
That's all right. Thank you, sir, for that inspiring speech. We really appreciate. Okay, so before we move forward, we have some dignified persons in our midst, and it will not be nice for us to move forward without appreciating them, right? Right? Their presence means a lot to us. Am I right or am I right? Am I right or am I right? Okay, I'm always right. Okay, first off, we're going to be appreciating one of our guest speaker. He is a Nigerian entrepreneur, a researcher, and an innovation strategist. Impressive, I know. He's passionate about building scalable solutions for Africa's most pressing challenges. If you are passionate about building scalable, what's it called, solutions for Africa's most pressing challenges, I think you should give him a round of applause. You've got somebody on your plate you can network with. He's the co-founder and CEO of Binarify Limited, a software implementation and education technology company helping institutions across Africa leverage technology for growth and impact. Please, a round of applause. Most interestingly, he is one of our own, an alumni of FUT Mina, and with a background in mechatronics engineering, a strong portfolio in research, emerging technologies such as blockchain, artificial intelligence, and digital systems. He has led initiatives at the intersection of youth empowerment, digital transformation, and system innovation. He is committed to developing sustainable, Africa-centered solutions and mentoring the next generation of visionaries. Can you please, with a standing ovation, welcome Mr. Samuel Adeni. All right, before we sit down, we have other dignified guests, and we have representing the Mr. Mustafa Wasiu Abodori. All right, you can have your seats. All right, so coming up on stage next is poetry. Who likes poetry? Yeah. Who likes spoken word? I'm only seeing ladies, men. People who don't like art. I don't understand. Who likes poetry? Yeah, only ladies is raising hand. Who likes poetry here?
And that is exactly the point. Don't clap for me. Don't smile and say deep. If this poem ends and we still do nothing, then I have failed. This is not hard. This is war. They told us, be patient, your time will come. But what do you tell a continent that has been a label for 60 years and still hasn't given birth? Africa, our supposed motherland. She is but a wounded girl, nursed by orphans, raised by warriors, abandoned by the ones who swore to protect her. We bleed from open borders and closed minds. We choke on power cuts and political fraud. We drink promises like palm wine, but wake up with hunger every time. How do you build a future when the present is always on strike? You see, I didn't write this with ink. I wrote it with hunger, with every lecture that never had light, with every youth who died full of dreams but empty of opportunities. Yet, still, we rise from the streets of Nairobi to the slums of Warri. We code with no laptops. We farm with no land. We dream with no sleep. We are the ones who turn pain into process. We are not your problem. We are your power. So volunteer that skill. Start that idea. Don't just trend. Transform. You think you are just a student? No. You are the seed of a new system. If they won't give us space, we will build our own stage. If they won't give us the touch, we will light the fire from our chest. This is not motivation. This is a warning. Africa will not rise by chance. It will rise because we refused to fall. So don't clap for me. Rise with me. And if you are still breathing, then Africa is still waiting.
A humongous round of applause for him again. All right, then. Moving forward, we will be going into question and answer segment. I know we all listened to Mr. Akin, right? It seems you people want us to not move. We should stay stagnant. Okay. I know we all listened to Mr. Akin, right? Good. Good. So I'm very sure we have questions. We have questions. So please, if you have a question, can you just signify by putting up your hands? We'll bring the mic to you. Or if you cannot talk, send a paper to any of the ushers. Ushers, please stand. You have a question. I need a second mic. The man in the cap. Look at the end.
Okay, thank you very much. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Inokola Dokpo, and thank you very much for that wonderful presentation. You have taught us about the arts of war, and we as African, I think we lack that mentality of like fighting outside there. We just think the world is at peace. So in the last part, you talked about we selling our.
He's bold enough to stand up and say, this needs to change. And that person then becomes the travesty. Yeah. So if you keep waiting, and this is the travesty of Africa. We really do not have many leaders. Everybody's waiting to become president or governor to effect change. You don't need to. I talked about Michelin. How people look tires. And the interesting thing with Michelin, please read about it. They were French. The interesting thing with Michelin is that the technology that they introduced in 1897 is the same technology you use today. Before then, you used to drive wooden cars with carriages with wooden tires, bicycles with wooden tires, or full rubber. It will take a whole day to change a bicycle tire if it went flat then. They came with the concept of air-filled tires. The president went to visit them at an exhibition and congratulated them. Were they government? Do you think they had government support? Their grandfather's factory had run down, and they said, what can we do with this factory? And that's how they started to produce these tires. Was there a foreign investor that came to invest?
Thank you very much, sir. Any other person? Someone is putting up his hand there. Give it to him first.
All right, thanks to our speaker. We really appreciate this session. My name is Abgani Bashir, 500 level student of Chemical Engineering Department, and I have two questions for you, sir. My first question is, you made mention of how some countries like China have more power than other countries, and you pinpoint why NYSC should be more militarized. Don't you think going back to military regime, because we are now in we are not in military regime again. Don't you think going back to military regime would be more better? That's my first question. The second one is, about the overwork our African people do outside the country. Like if their boss give them a particular work from 8 to 5 p.m. and he or she is asked to do overwork, he will quickly accept. So for this kind of situation, don't you think these people are fear of the rate of unemployment in Africa, especially Nigeria, is high? Or most people don't take, because most people in Nigeria, if they give them work, they don't take necessary things. Necessary. So if they now get opportunity to work in other countries and they are giving work, they be willing to do it because they know if they come back to Nigeria, the rate of unemployment is high and probably they might not get another job again. Don't you think it's because of that they're actually working or they have the spirit in them naturally? Thank you, sir.
Okay. Military regime, should we go back to military regime? It's exactly what I have said that we should not, because now you are outsourcing, you are delegating again this aspect of a society. You are leaving it in the responsibility in the hands of soldiers. No, soldiers are meant to go to war. And even in the countries with the largest armies, I think the largest population of the army will be about 1.2%. It's barely ever up to 1.2. You have maybe 0.2%, 0.6%. Soldiers are meant to go in for aggression. That does not mean that the country should not be militarized to a certain level. How many soldiers do you need to then protect your home? Do we employ enough soldiers that protect everybody in their homes? No. You are responsible for your home security first. That is what makes security effective. Not waiting for police. Please, I don't know who plays there. There's a game I play, Rise of Nations. Please, if you don't play Rise of Nations, I'm sorry. You are playing the wrong games. I see people playing FIFA and all this. Please play Rise of Nations. And I can tell you this is exactly the strategy that Bill Gates is employing in conquering the world. Because it's a Microsoft game. It's the loveliest game. And the funny thing is, as in an old game, I started playing Rise of Nations in 1990, what was it, about 98, 99 or so, back then. And it is still relevant. They have not upgraded that game. They don't need to. You need to have militias. We are latecomers to this game. So the best militia you can have is NYSC. How are you going to protect 200 and something million people? To protect them effectively, you cannot protect them with 100 and something thousand soldiers. 100,000 soldiers cannot protect 240, 250 million people. So we're joking. So you need almost every youth to have a military mindset, not a military regime. Because a military regime then doesn't pay attention to civics. I don't think you have a Senate. Science and technology, maybe they'll pay some attention to it, maybe. Commerce, a military man is not by nature a tradesperson. He's not going there to negotiate for, let's do deal and let's do. He shut down borders. All airports closed. All borders closed. This is military style. They'll say action governor. You're killing the country. But he thinks he's doing well. So no, you do not need a military regime. A military is just a part of it. Incidentally, one African country that has not had a coup is Tanzania. Tanzania is my country of choice. Everybody speaks the same language. All around. This is one thing that is doing us in. I don't know what is hard in enforcing everybody speaking one language in Nigeria. Just pick the language, everybody speaks it. Everybody speaks Swahili in Tanzania. Not everybody is from the same ethnicity. So Tanzania is like a militarized society. You cannot steal in Tanzania and get away with it. You cannot. It's just a matter. They will just wait for you. You travel 30 kilometers, they catch you. It's in Nigeria, and on the aspect of, maybe it's because we do too little here. No. In Nigeria, we work too much. I traveled to a country, Liberia. I wanted to open a bank account. I called the guy. What's his name? Emeka. I said, Emeka, I got your number from the embassy. I want to open a bank account. This was about 1:30 in the afternoon. He said, okay, where am I? I said, at so place. He said, I won't be able to make it to the bank on time. I said, why? This is just 1:30 now. He said, yeah, they would have closed before I get there. I said, it can't be so far. He said, no, they close at 2 o'clock. I said, close as in maybe operations desk. He said, everybody closes at 2 o'clock. I laughed. I said, Emeka, I'm sure you don't miss Nigeria. He said he does. He's not coming back to Nigeria for anything. GTB, the same GTB, where people close at 10 o'clock at night. A friend of mine was MD in UBA, Tanzania. He got in on a Wednesday, observed, everybody closes at 5 on the dot. Thursday, same thing. Friday, he sent out a memo that nobody closes before him. Or else, if you can't take it, then resign. Monday morning, he resumed. Everybody's resignation letter was on his desk. They told him, they said, we know you are coming from Nigeria. The former MD2 was Nigerian. Please don't bring your Nigerian madness here. You pay us to work till 5. 1 minute past 5, we have no business here. You will not try it in Nigeria. If they tell you to stay till 11, you are there. I have a friend, one of my said, oh God, I've gone to show myself. He went to show them that he can walk. They packed 3 projects and gave him. Meanwhile, in Nigeria, he was doing about 15 projects. We do too much. Trust me. Life is too tough in Nigeria. Other countries, they take it easy. And things go well. Nigerians, we overdo. We are not lazy here. Contrary to what some people think. Nigerians are the hardest working people. That's why many Europeans can't stay here. We are too... The boss likes it. Of course. Yeah. So that's... I hope I've answered your question. Wow.
Thank you so much, sir. For the sake of time, we'll take one more physical question and 2 written questions. So please, we're going to have another session for this. So please, can we just hold on for the meantime? For the one extra question. Ooh, there's somebody raising his hand up there. Okay, please give him the mic.
Good day, everyone. So you say something about Third World War. So this Third World War, is it like more of economic warfare? And the second question, so what can we do when our own kinsmen tend to see us as adversaries than fellow brothers? And then they see the outsider as the angel or the liberator. Why is there like a Judas tendency like buried within us? So I want to understand this phenomenon around us, mostly Africans.
Let me address the Judas tendency. It's because you are not doing anything with your only Nigeria made her a millionaire in dollars. And we are taking pride that, we are importing. What are we exporting? Plantain. We grow the best plantain in the world. What isn't the best in Africa? Pepper. The best in the world. Goat skin. How many people know Italian leather? They had to stop branding leather Italian. Because most of the leather that the Italians were claiming comes from Nigeria. It's only that, of course, most of the people doing business were Lebanese. Lebanese don't have any loyalty to advocate for the banning of it, because I think we should make more bags and shoes with it. Third World War, yeah, we need more bags and shoes, certainly. But I don't know. You want to argue? Let's go on Twitter and argue. Third World War, the world is at war. It is military and it is economic. You will see that Donald Trump, he really is a deal maker. So instead of spending so much money on bullets and gunpowder, come and sit down, agree to my own terms. War is about money. The only people who benefit from war is bankers, and that's how bankers make a lot of money. It's the quickest way to make money in this world. Get into war. The business of war. Don't be a soldier, please. Don't be a fool. Be on the side where you supply food, water, clothes, equipment, whatever. It's fools that go and fight physically. Yeah, so it's economic also. There was a shipment of electric vehicles that was coming somewhere. I think it was going to South Africa. It sunk in the ocean. Over 300 or so vehicles. I don't think that was coincidence. I think that's trade war. Yeah.
Thank you so much, sir. One question before we move forward. This person is saying, It is one thing to acquire knowledge and another thing to apply the knowledge. Nigeria is currently facing corruption, which which we all know, and the youth have done their best in protesting, which resulted in premature death. What best strategy do the youth apply to overcome this, sir?
You have to keep protesting. I know that you pride yourselves on NSAS. That's your badge of honor. My own time, we hijacked the whole plane that was going out of the country and said the plane landed in Niger, or was it Mali? And we said that until the government agrees to the deals. Yes, 3 young men got on the plane, hijacked the plane, and said until the government agrees, everybody's hostage. We don't have coups anymore. I don't know what's happening with the young officers. Sorry, I can't say this on camera, but I don't know. Everybody seems complacent. I think coups should just be the natural thing that a young officer will want to do. You want to just take over something. That's what you're trained for anyway. I don't know. I don't know. Protests. Should you protest? Are you protesting rightly? This is the question. Because somebody will still go to an office and they will tell you, to get this contract, 50 million, you have to give me 15 million. Do you protest? Do you want it to be a street protest first? Do you protest? Somebody else will go and take that contract anyway. So you look at it as if your own effort is futile. I think people need to keep writing and talking about it. What do we talk about on social media? Nigeria is the most expensive place to build a road. Not because it's technically challenging. It's because when you issue a road contract, if it's 150 million, 80 million of that money is going directly to somebody's pocket. Up front. So where does that put the contractor? Who is talking about it? What are we talking about? This is the thing. It's not just about protests. Are you writing about it? How many people even know what it costs to build a road? You just hear figures and you go to sleep. Oh, it's okay. Corruption is killing our infrastructure industry. They say government is corrupt. I'm sorry. I think the private sector is worse, much worse than government can ever hope to be in terms of corruption. You are not talking about it. We're not talking enough about it. I think I've made my own noise. I hope more. I think more people should jump on and start to talk really about these things. Start to scrutinize. I think there was one organization that was set up. What's their name? They scrutinized
down so many times. I just thought within my, then I take the correction and I make it better. Some will be kind enough to tell me that you don't come and be telling me things and you have not started. Then I take it. So nothing really is going to, I just move on. So just start anyhow. Start everyhow. We have to be making that decision not next tomorrow, not 10 years from now. We know the statistics. We are going to be twice this number in about 25 years. It's a good market for us, right? But it's also a very big problem that require all of us that are currently in school and those who are even out there, that we need to be scaling fast. We need to be thinking very, very quickly. We need to be connecting with those. We need to be bold, confident with that military mindset that I'm going to do this. It's $1 billion project. I don't have the money, but we are going to do it. We're going to do what? We're just going to build it. We're going to solve this problem and it's going to scale. So thank you, everyone.
A round of applause. Don't stop. Don't stop. Thank you very much, Mr. Samuel. We really appreciate that speech. How many of us learned from it? How many of us have new ideas now? Because I'm very sure a lot of us had ideas when we came in, but they were not really problem solving. Right? Right. So how many of us have new ideas now? With time, don't worry. Okay, moving on to the next thing. We're going to play game. Why is the house so quiet? I said we are going to. People don't like play. People don't like play. We love play. You did not play when you're small. Well, all right, so we're going to be going into the gaming session, and it's going to be an African game. I know you guys are wondering which one is African game. It's basically just driving us to the history of Africa. Sure, there are a lot of things about Africa as a whole, even about Nigeria itself, that we have no idea about. Talk more of Africa. Right? Right. So, this is how the game is going to go. We're going to be asking questions, and if you have the answer to it, just put up your hand. We'll send a mic to you. Please, where's the second mic? I need an usher to be with that. We'll send the mic to you, and you will give it to us. If you're right, okay, there might be a gift for you. And if you are wrong, okay, you try again next time. Abi? Abi now? Okay, it seems the house, you guys are getting tired. Yes, stand up. Or rise, or rise. Or rise. Let's do what most of our lecturers will do in class. You see Ijaya that does that now. Oh yeah, stretch. Stretch. Stretch your body. Stretch now. People don't know how to stretch.
Good morning, everybody. Let's go back to primary school. If you're happy and you know it, clap your hands. If you're happy and you know it, clap your hands. The guys are not clapping. If you're happy and you know it, clap your hands. If you're some girls are not standing up. I'm not your mate. Stand up. Don't look at my small size. Stand up. You covering your hair with brown. You, yes, stand up. Who else is sitting down? If you're happy and you know it, clap your hands. If you're happy and you know it, clap your hands. If you're happy and you know it, and you really want to show it. If you're happy and you know it, clap your hands. If you're happy and you know it, stamp your feet. If you're happy and you know it, stamp your feet. If you're happy and you know it, and you really want to show it. If you're happy and you know it, stamp your feet. If you're happy and you know it, say hooray. If you're happy and you know it, say hooray. If you're happy and you know it, and you really want to show it. If you're happy and you know it, say it down.
Thank you very, 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 very much, Ma. Thank you so much. So, I think we are ready now for our gaming session. Let's juggle our brains a bit. Our first question is very simple. Don't worry, you don't have to browse the internet, so everybody drop your phones. Our first question. I spent 27 years in prison. God forbid, it cannot be me. It's not me. For fighting against apartheid and later became president of my country. Who am I? I think a lot of people know this. Echo the name. Alright then. I was the first woman to win the Nobel Prize Award in Africa for my work on democracy and human rights. Who am I? I'm from what country? You know it. I said first woman. I heard you already. You said Wale Soyinka. No.
Chimamanda, Nigeria.
I'm sorry, but you are wrong. Maya Angelou? Nope. All right, let me call the answer. Her name is Wangari Maathai from Kenya. Okay, next question. There's only one question we've got to know. Even we should bear it in mind. Because even me, I did not know it. It's because it's here with me. You understand? I'm learning too. So next question. I pioneered mathematics and astronomy in ancient Mali during the golden age of Timbuktu. Who am I? In Damascus. Do you have the answer? Do you have the answer, sir? I saw your hand raising up. Man in white. Huh? In Africa. has an ideal? Huh?
Mohammed Musa.
Mohammed Musa? Nope,
Oh.
not him. Okay, please come and give it to this gentleman in front. Yes.
Mansa Musa.
All right, nope. But because of our time, his name is Ahmed Baba and he's from Mali. Like I said, we are all learning. So this is just an indication we need to go back to our roots. We need to start learning things beyond Nigeria. We need to start learning things about Nigeria and then beyond Nigeria into Africa. Did we get that? We don't know anything about our continent. So if we go for competition now, this is how we are fake. It's only Nelson Mandela we know. Everybody just shouts Nelson Mandela. Haba. I developed a technique to preserve vaccines in hot climate, saving millions of African lives. Who am I? Okay, this is an awkward silence. Right? Nobody has the answer. Nobody can even guess. We've been guessing since, but this one nobody can guess. It's all right. Nobody's guessing. Wow. Okay. Her name or his name is Sheikh Anta Diop. He's from Senegal and he's also an historian and a scientist. Did we get that? Did we get that? I don't know how to pronounce the pronunciation that they gave me here, Sha. So I pronounced it the way I think is best pronounced. But the spelling of the name is Cheikh, then space Anta, then space Diop. If you're writing it down, that's the name. And he's from Senegal. Third question. I led the Zulu kingdom and became one of the greatest military strategists in African history. Who am I? From what? He's correct. A round of applause for him. I was a revolutionary leader in Burkina Faso, known as Africa's Che Guevara. Who am I? Okay, he is correct because he said it first. Clap for him. I'm very sure a lot of us will know this one. I am the Nigerian economist who became the first African and first woman to head the World Trade Organization. Clap for yourselves. Okay, let's do another Nigerian one. I am the Nigerian tech entrepreneur behind Flutterwave, a leading fintech company in Africa. Who am I? No, he's not the one. Sorry. Okay, is there any other guesses? Okay, his name is Olubenga GB Agbola. People will not give me a round of applause. Hey, I did not get it. So for the last two questions, I am an African king who made a pilgrimage to Mecca with so much gold that I disrupted the global economy. Who am I? Wow, so that was easy. From what country, please? Mali Empire. Okay. The next one is still very easy, safe. All the ones here are very easy. I'm looking for a hard one. Okay, I am the Egyptian engineer who built the Great Pyramid of Giza. The global economy. Who am I? Wow, so that was Empire. Okay, the next one. Egyptian engineer who built the Great Pyramid of Giza? Imowa? Who is saying it? Imo? Let me guess. You are browsing it there. Okay, he is correct. Please, a round of applause for him. All right, that was that fun or was that fun? Was that fun or was that fun? You people will stand up and do another if you're happy and you know. Was that fun or was that fun? Good. But I'm very sure you learned something, right? All right then. Okay. So moving forward, we're going into the third session of the summit. Who is excited to learn more? So the person coming up to take this summit, you've already met her, but let me still introduce her to us because I'm very sure we all of us do not know her personally. She is a seasoned media strategist and an unapologetic advocate for women's rights, girls' empowerment, mental health awareness. Woo! Sorry, I'm very sorry to the boys. I'm being biased. I agree. But yes, woo! If you are a girls activist in the room, scream! All right. She currently serves as a special assistant in bracket print media to the executive governor of Niger State, shaping narrative that advances accountability and people-centered governance. Armed with a master's degree in public policy and administration from Bayero University, Kano, she blends policy depth with newsroom rigor, built across leading platforms, including this newspaper, where she served as a state correspondent. She leverages storytelling to amplify marginalized voices. I think I probably need to explain that. She what? She leverages storytelling to amplify marginalized voices, to amplify voices that has been kept quiet for so long and their stories need to be heard. She influences public discourse and catalyzes social change with a resounding round of applause. And can you make welcome to the stage Mrs. Aisha Wakaso?
Thank you very much. Please have your seats. Thank you. Thank you. Good morning, everybody. Good morning, sirs. So my name is Aisha Wakasu. I'm the special advisor to the governor of Niger State on print media. I usually do not allow myself to be introduced most times as a special advisor, but I am introducing myself today here because I want to let you know that you can be anything that you dream to be. You can be anything that you want to be. You only need to dream it and then work. We're going to be talking about power, politics, and people, redesigning African institutions from inside out. I like the fact that it wasn't just politics and redesigning Africa, but he had to talk about the people. We are the people, we are politics, and we are the institutions. None of these can exist without us. Let me go to my paper. Africa will not be saved by foreign aid. It will be saved by the mindset of its young people, like you and I, who are sitting in this room today. Nobody can change Africa. When they told me Africa, I was like, why did we have to I, who are sitting in this room today? Nobody can change Africa. When they told me Africa, I was like, why did we have to go as big as Africa when we haven't even done anything in our Nigeria? Would you allow me to streamline to Nigeria? Because if your house is on fire, waiting concern you with outside. Sorry, I'm not a formal person. I don't know how to be formal or you both things. No, I leave it for bros. I'm I'm that kind of person that will run to the end of the stage and come back. I'm not a very normal people. Let's leave it for now. Good afternoon, my future leaders. You know, I don't just see students here. Oh. It is you people that see yourselves as students. I'm seeing the Elon Musks of this world, the Bill Gates of this world, you know. But you can only get there if you don't limit yourselves, you know. I see architects of a new Nigeria, you know, people redesigning Africa, changing the narratives. I'm here to call, you know, it's for me like a call of action. I'm not here to speak too much of grammar. I know it's a challenge already for this generation to try to break, you know, the circle of, let me use the word because I'm part of it. I think I'm part of those who have also failed this generation, you know, circle of bad leadership. And you as the people, younger ones, trying to just relax and leave everything for the leaders. Weak systems and all of that. Now let's start. What is even power? For too long in Nigeria, we've mistaken power to be position. Maybe most of you now, if you see me driving one big car, maybe I have a personal assistant, I even have an orderly, I have someone cleaning my office. You all assume that's power, right? I'm sure most of you think that's power. But is that really power? We have mistaken power for position. We think power is about the convoy you ride in, the title in your desk, or the privilege you enjoy. Power is service. Power is actually service. It goes beyond all these things that we see. Excuse me. The measure of a man is what he does with power. That's what Plato said. What do you do with power when you have it? All of us here have power. In our families, in our houses, those of you who are firstborns, how do you handle power? Threaten everybody's life, deal with them, kneel down before mommy comes back, beat them. When power becomes an instrument of self-interest, society suffers. But when power is used to serve, to build, and to uplift, it changes lives. As young people, we must redefine power. It is not about my turn to eat. It is not a milocon. It must be my turn to make a difference. In 2022, 23, we kept hearing the Emilocon thing. How much has Emilocon changed? Sorry, I'm a politician. Sorry, I'm a member of APC. But then, should we not say the truth when it is needed? And the reason why we're all still in this situation, even as Nigerians and as students, is because we have all kept quiet and because we want to eat from a particular table. We don't talk. I heard of an African story. That guy was an activist, maybe like you people's very dark man now, you know. An activist shouting outside. And then the government just gave him an appointment and he stopped shouting. And then somebody asked him, what's wrong? Why are you not shouting anymore? He said, in Africa, when you are eating, you do not talk. Yeah. So that is it. So, should I say the truth? Yes, I will say the truth because it is necessary. It doesn't matter whose ox is going to be good, but then the truth must be told if we must have change. Politics is not something to run from. It's something to fix. Too many young people say politics is dirty, but who made it dirty? And who will clean it up for us? Me, I'm one of those people who say politics is dirty. I called myself a politician because if you have to have a political appointment, you must be affiliated or you must be entangled with the party that you work for. But ordinarily, I am one person who is also of this opinion that politics is dirty, but I had to ask myself a question before coming here today. Who is going to clean it up for us? If those of us who seemingly think that we're clean do not get into it to make a change. If you're not involved, you're absent and you're also complicit. You can't sit in the comforts of your rooms in the hostel, cross your legs and say you will not get involved in politics, and tomorrow when things are going wrong, you still do not have the right to say that things are going wrong. Because what did you do to make a difference? politics and the country has been so bastardized that the people who suffer the most are young people. I have a 17-year-old at home, so most times I try to finger his brain to ask questions. I like young people around me. I ask them questions. I join them in doing their TikTok dance challenges and everything so that when I'm asking them questions, they will talk. I know that we have failed and young people are suffering. I just returned from the US on Thursday. These people who, I don't even know the person that I've been communicating with on the phone. This guy did not let me enjoy my holiday. I had to run, let me enjoy my holiday. I had to run back from Abuja yesterday. I'm actually tired. I'm still tired. I'm still stressed. And for a single time I have ever traveled, I get heartbroken all the time. And the reason why I get heartbroken is that our leaders practically do not even live here. They travel all the time. And they see everything. When our elder brother here was talking about, South Africa lights, I could just relate. They don't horn. It's in Nigeria here. To get passenger, Kadama will say, pa, 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 pa. Hey, what's going on? They don't horn over there. And when I see things going on around there, I get so heartbroken. And I feel so terrible for this country, because we all know that this country is sinking. I met a boy, his name is Laolu. Coincidentally, he was my nephew's namesake. I took my nephew to go and play basketball. And then the boy came in, black. But he was speaking Waragana. I was like, eh? I didn't know he was even Nigerian. And the next thing, to his basketball outfit. The moment he finished, he was leaving again in his car. He was changing to another outfit. So by Thursday, when I brought my nephew back, I was like, he said he had to do 3 jobs. He was saying that Nigerians do too much. We are used to doing too much at home that when we go out and with our economy, we go there and do too much too. How can one person do 3 jobs in a day? They practically do not sleep. I went to my own younger sister's house. I was the one cooking, the one sweeping, the one cleaning, the one doing, vacuuming the house. They don't have time. They do too much just because they want to make ends meet. And that's why I say I feel bad for our young people, because there is really nothing left for them here at home. People, at the heart of all of this, the people are all that matters. And here, the truth, institutions are not broken because of structures. They are broken because of you and I. We're all, corrupt people. And it is simple. If you're not corrupt, you think a guy calls a girl. All you who go finding men on social media, and the guy says, visit me. And then you say you don't have transport money. And the guy sends you transport money. And you do not go. You are a thief. You are corrupt. So look at your children. You are corrupt. What happens to saying to the man, I do not want to come? What happens to saying to the man, I do not want to be with you? As much as I do not even advise you to be with anybody I know is inevitable. But then, why not be truthful? That's where the problem starts from. So we as a people are first the problems before we make the institutions another problem. Somebody gave an example, 3rd class. Were you the one? Did you say something like graduating with 3rd class? Oh, I proudly graduated with the 3rd class from Bayero University. At the time I was going to graduate, I had like a few points, 1, 2, 3 points to move to the, and my ex-husband, yeah, we met in school. Go and meet them. You can't leave school with a 3rd class. I'm like, can't I leave school with a 3rd class? Am I better than anyone who has left school with a 3rd class before? Go! You need more than this. I said, I will never visit a lecturer's office. And I never visited a lecturer's office until I graduated. If they say go for lectures, I go. If they say I submit. So I had no business with anybody. See, so sir, you know, I have a problem. They said girls, kinika, that's what they called me, but that's the only problem. It's girls that are my problems. Because I know that if the girls fix their lives, the boys must sit up. If you fix your lives. So, most times you see me talking now, I'm calling girls. Let the boys not think that we're throwing them away, please. We're not throwing you away, but please pick from the pieces of the things that we're saying. When they say submit your assignments, I do my assignments and I submit. When they say go for lectures, I go for lectures. Yes, I wasn't the reading type. I prefer to read novels and all of that. Yes. But you can't go to a lecturer's office. And then you go to a lecturer's office like this. And the lecturer is a human being. Do you understand? Those of you who are girls, do you understand? You're the one looking for trouble. We are the problems too for the institution. If you do the right thing, resume school at the right time, write your exams at the right time, write your tests at the right time, do the right things in school. Who is going to tell me that there is a lecturer who is in school, who is giving a girl who he has, like now, should be people are many here. How can I now see the girl? The boy that I like gets his number from this. So you must have taken yourself to them majority of the times. I'm not making excuses for any lecturers. Do you understand that? So we are also part of the people who make the institutions problematic. I work as a special advisor. How much is my salary? My mother is from the east. All the Igbo people are expecting me to do something. My father is from Anaba in Niger State here. Everybody in the village is expecting me. People come with demands that are even more than your monthly salary. Where am I supposed to get it from? Apparently, they are telling you to steal. And it is not just them. That's exactly what we all do. So until we decide as a people to change our mindset, to change as a people, the institutions will remain the same. Because I haven't touched the guys does not mean that the guys don't do too. I know of guys who just go, I beg, help me sort that lecturer. When I was in school in Enugu, I started from Enugu before my parents had to take me out of Enugu because of cultism. The boys will give lecturer, they will gather money and give to the lecturer to pass them. Some will buy them drinks. So we are the ones causing, and the lecturers will collect and then pass them. Now we will be blaming the institutions when it is the humans in the institutions that are making a mess of the institutions. We need reorientation as young people. We must stop thinking when I get there, it will be my turn to steal. I want to talk to you genuinely. Which one of you here really wants to go into politics, win an election, and truly from the bottom of your heart, make a change? Or are you like my son who wants to buy me 3 pink cyber trucks? That's the truth. Let's be realistic. You see, I hate it when I hear young people say, these old people, they don't want to give us chance, they don't want to do this, they are spoiling the country. Between you and I, they cook in your family house. How many of you go out to take extra pieces of meat without your mother's consent? How many of us are those thieves? A little power is given to you in a pot of soup, and you are stealing pomo and pomosa. When you mentioned pomo, my heart broke. Pomosa. We are all complicit. All of us have one problem or the other, so let's not blame institutions. Now, you see that thing? The change has to start from you and I. We need to make a difference. Don't join the statistics. Make a difference. See, we can't change anything. I'm telling you the truth. If we don't take a decision now to make a difference, to make a change, we can't change anything. The governor secretly calls me a rebel. I'm not a rebel, sir. It's just that I will say my mind, and I will say the truth. If everybody is pretending, you said I'm a special advisor, I will tell you the truth respectfully. It is left for you to take it or not to take it. But I will say the truth, that I might be able to go to sleep and sleep with both eyes shut and my conscience clear. But then look at us, young people. Some of us are already targeting iPhone 15, iPhone 16. With which money? How do you want to buy it? You want to be like me? Buy iPhone. All the features, I don't even know them. The WhatsApp, say call, say Instagram, say Facebook. That's all. Say Twitter. That's all. I want you to search yourselves and search your consciences. Do you really want a changed Nigeria? a changed Africa, and better institutions. We go to banks. Stay on the queue. I know Brother James in the bank. I won't stay on the queue. That's an institution. People who went there at 7 a.m. are not leaving until 7 in the evening because you who came at 3 p.m. knows Mr. James. Is it the bank's fault? Thank you. I know a lot of wrongs are going on in the country and in Africa, but let me share with you a story of Bogolo Kenewendo, a young woman from Botswana who became Africa's youngest minister at 31. You see, when I saw that 31 again, my heart broke again. Last night when I was reading, I was like, 31. What can a 31-year-old really do in Nigeria? Majority of them have failed us. What happened to our youngest female minister? What's her name again? Who can remember? The one that was only minister for like 6, 7, 8 months? This beautiful girl, Betta Edu. What happened? And we're fighting for younger people to be given, yes, opportunities. 31-year-old from Botswana. When she stepped into power, everyone expected her to play politics. Instead, she transformed Botswana's trade policies, pushed for youth entrepreneurship, and earned global recognition. She didn't see her position as a jackpot. She saw it as an opportunity to build something bigger than herself. That's the mindset we all need. This our sister in the UK, sir, Kemi. I don't know what's Kemi's problem with us, but I forgive her. But sir, I look at things from the other angle. She could be pushing all of this for Nigeria to be a better place. Not for everybody to be, yes, I understand that we're all desperate. We want to travel out of the country. But if our country, if shame will catch us, sir, we will not let our own citizen. Okay, she said she's no longer our citizen, sir. Okay. We cannot let Kemi, she's not our citizen, but she didn't change our name. She's also making a difference there, though. Now we should attack. Do you understand? Do you think the youth are actually ready? Do you think they are ready? I'm asking honest questions. Do you think the youth are actually ready, to be involved in full-time politics? Not just being involved in full-time politics, but then to take over institutions. Do you think so? Sorry, do you think so? I am glad to hear this because sometimes when I go to ask you those questions, yeah, they are ready. It's just that old people are not giving them opportunity. How can you be ready? When everybody, I knew that. When majority of us are either Yahoo boys, friends to Yahoo boys, relatives or mothers to Yahoo boys. I know my son is 17 and he will buy me a gift that I do not know where the money is from, and I have not blinded his eyes with a dirty slap. Will you call that poverty, hunger, or lack of sense? Then most of us are girls. It's those same Yahoo boys we are following. You are not ashamed, you are following thieves. That's it. He's a thief. There's no two ways about it. How did he get his money? He took another man's money. And what is stealing? Stealing is taking what does not belong to you. Isn't that the definition of stealing? Or some of the girls, I still see some girls, young, fine girls, FUT girls, they will bath and come to Circus Lounge and they will sit down. No man came with you. I didn't say you don't take yourself out because I do that. And they will play music. You are here, sir. I wanted to dance their type of dance. You are the ones that will do shedi balabala. Shedi balabala. How? Why? For what? I didn't say you shouldn't dance. You came alone. You buy only bottled water. You be doing shedi balabala. And then a man comes to you and gives you a number. And that is it. You are a runs girl. You are a thief. You are a thief. That's not the reason why. That's not how we can make our institutions grow. You have to change your mindset. Leadership is service, not enrichment. Educate yourself beyond what you're learning in school. He said it. And when he was talking, I was like, I just hope they get to learn. Engage in politics constructively. It's not the type that you people do on Twitter. Peter Obi, God will punish you and your wife and the whole of you. What brought God punish you inside politics? Constructively. Peter Obi, you didn't do this in Anambra State. Good. Tinubu, you didn't do that. You have questionable character. That's better. But not turning to attack dogs for people whose children are sitting in the confines of their houses. They used your taxpayers' money, your father's money, to buy abroad. Refuse corruption. Small o, big o. Create solutions. When you are sitting in your own, create a problem by yourself and look for solutions to those problems. Don't wait for anybody. Use your voice well. Social media is a powerful tool. Internet does not forget. It will remind you tomorrow. So use it well. Lead wherever you are from. You don't have to be a firstborn to tell people to clean their house. And so I noticed someone has been chewing gum, and as a lady, I do not think it is appropriate to be chewing gum like that in public. And did you hear me? Good. So lead from wherever you are. Are you the last born in your house? You don't have to wait for the firstborn to do it. In the hostel, in the school, in your institutions, if you go on the road and you see a piece of paper, please pick up. That's part of making our institutions better and making ourselves better. Support transparency. If somebody does wrong, don't be the one to tell somebody that lecturer, I hear say he collect 30,000. You go give. Don't do that. I wanted to say something. My elder sister had ectopic pregnancy at one time. So we went to the hospital in Abuja and they had to evacuate, So a lady, my friend, when we did youth service, called me one time to say that she got pregnant. And please, what is the name of that hospital so she could go there? My elder sister was married. That was her second child. So that she can go there if they can have her an abortion. And I said, no. I refused to give her the name of the hospital. But we're still good friends. And I told her it was based on principles. And because of, I'm a child of God. Such a problem out. Born the picking, give me if you want. I like children. But I don't want to have many children, So lead from wherever you are. Support transparency. Pause and reflect all the time. Make a difference. Empower yourselves. You think anyone is going to come and just carry microphone and give you? No, people don't do that anymore. You have to struggle for it. You have to fight for it. Be kind. Use social media wisely. Internet never forgets. Be confident. Some of us are in this hall. If they give them this microphone now, climb this stage. I know that's stage fright, but some of us do not even have the confidence to even talk to our friends. Social media has even made stuff worse. Boys now cannot say hello to a girl. You're afraid of being turned down. You become keypad warriors. You promise a girl how you are going to finish her on keypad. Can't say it by your mouth. Don't be ashamed to ask for help when you need help. Take your education seriously and be willing to walk the extra mile. Be polite, pleasant to people. Respect yourself. Respect for others. Respect is very important. Know your boundaries, both on social media and offline. Online and offline. You could land in prison if you do not know where your right stops. And where your right stops is where the right of another man starts. Be humble. Note. This is what I say to my girls all the time. But now it's, daddy, boys too, they are spoiled. Success is not sexually transmitted. Did you hear that? Success is not sexually transmitted. If you like, knack. Oh, I'm sorry, God, though. I'm sorry. I am sorry. This is my mouth. Or right at the microphone. If you like, Otedola or Dangote, if you will not make it, you cannot make it. And it depends on what you even call success. If money is what you call success. Do you understand? Someone looked at me a couple of, okay, in my bed yesterday, when I was struggling with sleep because of jet lag, I kept saying to God, I just wanted to pray so He can make me sleep. When you want to pray, devil will come and make you sleep. This one, the devil refused to come. And I kept saying, Father, I thank you. And I was thanking God specifically for the fact that my rise to being a special advisor to a governor in Niger State can never be attributed to warming anybody's bed. And as a girl, you can get anywhere. You don't have to sleep with anybody. The same thing with the men. You can get anywhere without having to be anybody that is following a woman to get anything. Women do it a lot too. Married women, they take advantage of young boys just to help them. You can be anything. Just prepare yourself. Okay, let's leave that. Be honest. Honesty is key. Very honest. Be prudent. Majority of us are here. Our parents give us money. Our parents suffer. Because I'm a parent, I know how I suffer weekly to send money for my son for his feeding in school. Because they don't even cook in their own school, Be prudent. Make concerted efforts to stand out. Just be different. If everybody is going here, you don't have to follow them. This is both for boys and the girls. Sorry, I'm using boys and girls, men and women. You people are, you can't be called boys and girls. Develop yourselves. Just go outside the box. Don't forget anything. I'm not saying you shouldn't take your education seriously. These are the only ways you can make difference. You see, our institutions now is just garbage in, garbage out. You go to school, you graduate, you come to the institutions and begin to work. Some people do not have any experience outside or do not have any other knowledge outside what they were taught in school. Please make concerted efforts to be different. Develop yourself. Consistency. Be consistent. Use your time judiciously. You see me like this, you can never find me. Take a bath, enter my car, or even trek to anybody's house to go and visit the person. We'll start gisting. Brother James, do you know that Sister Cynthia, she went to Uncle Daniel's house? And what am I looking for in somebody's house? If you lose someone, I visit. If your wedding, I will turn up. I will turn up. Important things, I visit. But I do not do that. And that's the same way I am. I do not like people visit me in my house. Because that's my private space. And so I create boundaries. Use your time judiciously. It's not from room A. I went to see Sister Nana. Where are you coming from? I went to see Brother James. From there, those things don't. Prepare yourself and, be useful for yourself. Patience is key. We didn't start driving cars today. We started by getting, maybe from families that had cars, but at a point, if I want to go, I will tell my father or a driver, I would go with Okadaba. I'll go in a taxi. Yes, be patient. You'll get there. It's just a matter of time. Stop beefing orders. It's time consuming, Avoid that quest for quick cash. MMM, all those ones that you put 500 to get 2 million, and at the end of the year, you're crying. Avoid it. Make your circle small. There's no how you'll be 5'10" in a circle that you will not have Ron's girl or a witch inside. Make your circle very small. Avoid bandwagon. Everybody is doing this, you want to do that. It doesn't work for everybody. I know I have told God one time, I said to God, Father, and I say it all the time, may I never exchange my body for a favor. And you know what God does? At the point when I am brokest, He makes a way. So if you go into such things, you know yourself, you do something. Some people, if somebody goes to sleep with a man, they give her 500,000. Wallah, if you go, they will beat the shit out of you, out of that place. Not everybody has the same kind of, you know what I'm saying? Good. Now, and one thing I know that works very well anywhere, to whom and to whoever, is you have to also pray. Pray and pray all the time. Finally, let me leave you with this quotes of, with these words of Barack Obama. We are the ones we have been waiting for. You are the ones we have been waiting for. You are the change that we seek. Africa is not changed will not change by accident. It will change because we decide that enough is enough, and we will not repeat the mistakes of our predecessors. You, the students in this room, have the power to start the revolution not with guns or protests, like he said, but with ideas, integrity, and the courage to stand for what is right. When your time comes, let it never be said that you joined the statistics of failure. Let it be said that you stood firm even when it was very difficult. The question I leave with you is simple. When history writes about your generation, what will be said of you? Thank you very much.
A standing ovation, please. A standing ovation, please. And I need everybody to stand, except if you don't love your mother. Except if you don't love your mother. A standing ovation, please. Thank you so much, Ma, for the motherly advice, for the motherly speech. We really appreciate. So moving forward, I would like to recognize some dignitaries amongst us. The SUG took their time to recognize Tass, and so we have to recognize them. You get? Do you understand? What's the quote for that? I cannot remember. But then, let's move forward to recognize the Secretary General of SUG, Comrade Olamide. And also to recognize SUG's CRO, Comrade Musa Ibrahim. Okay, he went out, he's not around now. I was told our secretary has a little speech for us. Sir, the floor is open. Okay.
Good afternoon, everyone. And of the greatest Nigerian students. And of the greatest Nigerian students. First, I would like to acknowledge our speakers and dignitaries here present. And also, I want to start by commending the convener of this program, Mr. Omidija Adeolu Michael and Mr. Omuya Jiro. This summit, so this is a very, very important summit for students, especially students who are aspiring leadership positions. Though I just came in now and to be part of those that benefited from what Ms. Aisha, what she just gave us now, it is very, very important that we take notes and we put into use these things. Because students and youth, we all say we are the leaders of tomorrow. If we as students, if we as youth, we are not ready to make the change, then who is now going to make the change? Is it that we want to leave the elderly ones, the old ones, to continue doing it? So, like, there's one popular saying of our late President Muhammadu Buhari that let change begin with you. So let's put it in ourselves that this change that we want in our country, this change that we want in our nation, this change that we want in our continent, Africa, let it begin with us. And I also want us to take note of everything that we have learned from this program. It should not just be like the usual ones that we normally see. We just come to a program and take notes, but we not even take it into use. We should put these things into use. We should make sure we are transparent, and also whenever there is any wrongdoing, we should call those in charge to order. Thank you very much for your time. On behalf of the Student Union, I want to welcome you all to this program once again. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Secretary General. Very soon you hear that he's the Secretary General of the Federation. Moving forward, we want to stipulate at least the next 10 minutes to questions. So from the last two sessions, if you have questions and you want to speak, and Usher is with the mic, so please just signify by putting up your hands. But if not, please write it down and give it to an usher close to you. Okay.
Hello everyone, good afternoon. My name is Oyedele Femi. I'm a 500 level student of Electrical and Electronics Engineering. Femi. I'm a 500 level student of Electrical and Electronics Engineering Department. And before going forward, I would like to again thank the key speakers and the guests here present. We are really grateful. I think I speak for everyone here. Okay, so heading straight to my question, I think when Mr. Akin was actually speaking about Africa as a whole and how we can, identify our uniqueness, he talked about certain things that we could do. First and foremost, militarizing our minds and our hearts and our mindsets as regards nation building and as a whole continent building. Ms. Aisha also said something about change beginning from us, starting from Nigeria, how that we have to first of all revolutionize how we do things in Nigeria before taking it to Africa. That being said, is a question and it's an observation, so that I've realized that in Nigeria, one of our key issues is failure to recognize our differences and our peculiarities. That urge for let's just unite, that unity is actually the reason why we are where we are as a nation today. Failure to recognize our peculiarities and our differences as a country. We are over 200 ethnic groups in Nigeria with many languages. So my point is this, I'm hoping that as a nation and how we can effectively build Africa as a continent, don't we have to first and foremost identify our uniqueness, our peculiarities, our specialties, the things in which as a country in terms of regions and ethnic groups, the things that we are conversant with, shouldn't we identify those things and bring our individual peculiarities to the table? I don't know if that's clear. Like, as a country, for instance, before unity, you want to build Africa. Okay, Nigeria, for instance, this region, these people, these persons, how do we identify the things in which we are actually good at, our peculiarities, what we are our strongholds, and then we come together and then we bring everything like a conglomeration, we aggregate every part together, and then we go out to see how we can help the country and how we can help Africa. So I'm just thinking that instead of rushing unity, and then we're all packed up together, I think I will always say something about the fact that Nigeria is just paraphrasing now, is just an inorganic state, sort of. We actually are not natural. That naturality of Nigeria is not there. We just pack different people together. But how about we identifying our strongholds where we know that we have, just knowing ourselves, and then bring ourselves together, and then how we can foster unity and progress in Nigeria and of course in Africa as a whole. That's my question.
So how did you get it? Who is, you don't, okay, can anyone, okay sir, please. His mic.
Okay. You either want to be great or you want to be correct, politically correct. Which of these nations which are great, which of them have emphasized individuality? Is this recognition of individuality that is causing a lot of chaos? Or I identify as X, I identify as Y, I want my own space. I have children, I have 4 children. My oldest daughter is 21. You must share a room. No individuality. If not, then you come back tomorrow and say, no, I don't want to bear this name anymore. I feel like, bearing another name. Next thing, I don't feel like a girl, I feel like a boy. No, this is what starts to happen. Unity is not comfortable, but it is required. We're talking of nation building. I mean, the fact that we're even separate African states is a problem. Dahomey Kingdom, for instance, is broken up from where? Togo, Benin, and southwest Nigeria. They broke it up deliberately to weaken Nigeria. Eastern Nigeria and Cameroon. You should travel, please, guys, travel around Africa. You will see that when you go to DRC, Congo, you will think that they are Nigerians. They have all that behavior, but we're separate. Deliberately separated. Who does it benefit? Do they not have uniquenesses in China? You think everybody wants to speak Mandarin? Russia is a lot weaker now than when it was Union of Soviet Socialist Republics. When you had Ukraine, Kazakhstan, and all this Turkmenistan, and all those countries were part of the USSR. So Russia is weaker now, and Putin wants to bring everybody back together. Yes, it sounds nice. Oh, you know, this person is individual. But the same people who are pushing for this individuality do not tolerate it. The United States of America does not tolerate dissent. You cannot wake up and say you want California to be a separate state from the United States, even though California will produce more GDP than the whole of Africa, twice over. Britain, I like to use Britain as an example. I always ask, people don't know that the king, it used to be the queen, the king is the de facto head of Britain. But they've camouflaged it so well, so everybody keeps looking at the prime minister. You think Britain is united? You think the Scottish like the British? You think the Irish want to be part of that union? They don't. Like if you hear an Irishman speaking, it's totally different English from intonation. And they have their dialects. So yes, if you want to keep being individualistic, I don't know, maybe it will work on a world government when things, enhance. But unfortunately, it has not worked. It has never worked. Let everybody get in on the same boat and let everybody start to row. That's not the time you're going to say, oh, my arms are tired. Have you been on a boat before? There are some sports I encourage people to do, like boat rowing. There are 6 of you in a boat. Canoe. You start to row. You are rowing for life. One person says, oh boy, I'm tired, I beg, I need to rest. You guys will go nowhere. I appreciate the differences, and that's part of civics. That's why I said there are 4 aspects: military, civics, science and technology, and then commerce. Science and technology, you can't keep selling your technology. Oh, we discovered something. Oh, foreign investor has come to give you grants, or they do a competition, they come and steal it. You're damaging yourself. Use it to develop. This is how you become respected. The reason that I don't want to go into politics. How many of you have been to the War Museum in Umuahia? Go there and see what Nigerians developed, and you think that you think France will allow you ever become you think they will allow you become a strong country, or you think Britain will allow you to a threat? Because we have the ability. I've worked with people around the world, and I have not seen any other group more intelligent than Nigeria. I think I've worked in tech. When people say tech, telecoms is, anybody can argue, telecoms is the highest tech you can think of. It's just because many people are just users. For us at the back end, the programs you have to write, and then you have young people just come and sort it out. And you have people who have been doing it for 50 years wondering, how? Do you want to break that up, or do you want to? I think we should, like I said, and I still say this, I think Nigeria should start to annex. Madam, I hope you become special advisor to the president. We should start to annex some of these countries. No, seriously. Which uniqueness, individuality, everybody come together, but let us hope for the leader, or let us train leaders that are able to manage everybody's differences. Yeah. After all, you don't want your lecture theater and you say, oh, only women should sit in this theater, men should sit in that one. I don't know. I don't think you are doing yourself good. Yeah.
Okay, so while he was asking the question, the first thing that came to my mind was family, and I just wrote it here. I come from a family of 6 children, and then my father, late, and my mother. And I was that child. If you know what that child means, the tree climbing, fence climbing girl who is a tomboy. Now, we all have peculiarities, right? I was very good at cooking too. We have the ones who only like to remove cobwebs. We have the ones who only like to make the bed. Should we go separately to put our peculiarities together before we come together? So it is better for all of us to still stay together, respect each other, and just move along. And then I came again with, because I am a politician, I know that basically what this thing you're saying, it's politicians and religious leaders that just come and put it in our heads to just scatter everything for their own personal gains. It's just the leaders, politicians doing all of this. If not, we were united in the past. We have been working together as a country. We have been doing well as a country. Why all of a sudden this? That's why you see Christians are these, Muslims are even in the religion. In Islam, we have Derika, we have Izala, we have in Christian, we have Pentecostal. They are scattering everywhere just for their own gains. Because if we had remained in the Catholic and Anglican that we used to be in the past, some pastors will not see tithes to collect. And if they had remained in the Derika and the Izala that they used to have, or the normal Muslim that I was before, everybody was one Muslim, no Derika, no it's all these things that we have, different mosques everywhere, different people patronizing everybody, wouldn't have been there. So it's our both religious and political leaders. The people from the southwest want to have their own region so that they can have a president. The northerners, they will never, we don't like to share this country at all. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much, Ma. We have one more person to speak, and then we'll go to the paper questions.
Okay, thank you. Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Benedict Ochai, 300 level student from Electrical Engineering faculty. So my question is directed to Mr. Adeni. Last year, I was at Tass here, and I asked an idea about building solutions. Fast forward till now, I now have an idea of how to probably build a product that can help people, that can solve a solution. But there is a major problem, and when it comes to Africa, one major issue is infrastructure. That's why many people will say, okay, we are more of users than builders. So my question is this: with all the regulations, with everything that is happening, how do you go around all these things? Because we wanted to build a product. Like you said, you should launch it like that. But when it comes to, like, I'm speaking to, like, in the area of fintech now. In the area of fintech, you can't really always launch like that because you are dealing with people's money and a lot of things. So when you grow to a certain, like, there was this brand, they had a launch party, and when they had a launch party, the next thing was that government fined them. So how do you build when there are no existing infrastructure that can support your products where you currently are, and you don't have the money to build that infrastructure? Thank you.
Okay, I'll use myself as an example. I came from a humble background, right? So it means I don't have money, and nobody will give me free money. Like Daddy always tell me, there's no free money anywhere. So I use two currencies to get what I want, and will still continue to use it to get what I want. Currency number one was relationships. Like I mentioned, I'm not joking when I tell you that I walk up to people. I walk up to a fine girl and ask her, what's your name? The highest I will hear, and I'm comfortable with that, is a no. But most time, people love people that are confident, right? Many times when I walk up to people, I remember a time I got something, I just complimented the woman. That's all. I mean, mommy, I love the way this tailor, is this tailor, there's something, I can't pick it. Oh, I think it's the way you're smelling. It's the aura is just changing. You think she won't smile? Even if she deserves herself, she's going to smile. Then can I get your contact? I promise I'm not going to disturb you. I'm not going to message you when it is not important. So she gives me a contact. Then I begin to study what she likes to do. I try not to miss people's birthday, right? I pay somebody, or I just give somebody something. This man, his birthday is tomorrow. Put up a very excellent design. Put it up for them. I just send it to him. If he like, he will acknowledge. If he do not like, he will not acknowledge. I will post myself on Facebook and say, I'm just, thank God for ChatGPT in case you don't know what to write. I put something there. You think he's not seeing it? He's seeing it. There are many people who have told me that they see what I'm doing, and it's just now that they are telling me what happened to last 2 years. That means they've been watching. So that's currency number one. Currency number two is value. Right? Now, value means that, just like what I said, your product have to be solving a problem in a unique way. There's something we call a UVP, unique viable proposition. You need to have something different. Take for instance, I want to solve a real estate problem. I was with Dr. Stephen Akintola. We were together with Dr. Cosmos Maduka. I can't tell them what they are already doing because they have money. That means whatever they are doing is working, right? So if I'm bringing a solution out as a product, making their decision, and I say, wow, this is good and it's making X number. How about if you include A, B, C, and I modeled it? Are you seeing it? So even if I'm going to launch a product and somebody gives, see, I think it's a blessing, and this is to all of us as I wrap up, that many people don't give you money at start. I really think it's a big blessing. Because if they give you money at start, apologies ahead, you don't have the sense, we don't have the sense to manage that kind of money for what it is. Because if somebody say, okay, I like you, okay, I'm going to write you a check of 20 million. You think you know what you will use that money to do. That's what your mind will tell you. But have you experimented before? How much have you experimented with before? Now, what is your basis that your productivity that you have already set out as focus? What is the basis that is going to work? There is no basis. Because when they ask you, you do not have anything that look like a past performance. In other words, I put it in one word, you do not have the value that they are looking for to support you. The way we attract people, the way we attract funds, the way we attract grants, right, is in doing, it's not just building something that, everybody think or we think is working. Because like I mentioned, and this is where I wrap up again, this is where I wrap up. Our solution is for the users, right? It's the users that uses our solution that gives us the money, that makes us rich in return. So the people that can say that what you are building is working is not you. Everything works on the laptop of the back-end guys. I mean, everything works well, right? It's until when somebody is using it, then they find out that this bug, this, that, and because you are not so big, the moment when there's a lot of bots, what do you think they are doing? They are looking for Sam. They are looking for what I built because it's working. And if they use me once, they use me twice, and you didn't catch up, what happens to you? Two things. Number one, it's not just that you did not get it right at that time. The biggest problem is that you have shut that door. Because those people will hardly look at your axis, your reference point again, except somebody else, currency again, is bringing you back to that table. And you have to better be ready. So don't be quick to launch. You don't have money now. Your product, is it working? Is it unique? Is it different from what we currently have on ground? Have you done all the necessary things that should make them take you serious? Do you have a pitch? If I am to give you 20 million now, can you convince me in 2 minutes? Can you convince that in 2 minutes? If you can't do that, man, it's not what we think alone that works. It's what people think, right? That we think that works.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much. So our time is fast spent. I'll just ask this question, and it goes to our mommy. This person said, in a female's voice, "Good afternoon, everybody." Thank you, mommy. This is particularly for that motherly advice. My question goes like this: as a girl in Nigeria, what if you have a great dream, an aspiration to do something very great with your life, but you're being limited by family with zero support and encouragement? What do you do, ma?
Thank you. As a girl, I will just say that, you see, most times parents try to put their own ideas in our heads, force us to do one or two things. But one thing I also know again is that most times our parents are not totally wrong. Now, it also depends on what you want to do. If what you want to do is positive, I think you should continue to speak to your parents and prove yourself. I have a situation of a girl who wanted to go into fashion designing, but her parents refused, that she had to go and study nursing. She went to school of nursing, no, midwifery, the one on Bay Clinic Road. And then she didn't, she started from FUT. And then I think at 300 level, first semester, she was supposed to resume. and they had to send her out of school because I think her grades were not good enough. Now they wanted to force her to go to school of midwifery. So I spoke to the mother and I said, you have to let your child, explore. Let her try both things. While she's in school, she's doing this. If you do not allow the child to do what they want, they'll be rebellious. So what you need to do is combine what you're doing with what your parents want you. Most times it's usually school with your dream. You can do it. Just combine, do this while you're doing that. And at the same time, let them see that, yes, you're actually serious. I've seen my son plays football. When he started his football thing, I'm like, if I slap you, now I'm the one looking for school in UK where he'll go and do his master so that he'll be playing football and and then be bringing the money to me. So if you show them that I'm going to be his manager, so I will be cooking, I'll be doing massage, everything I'll be for him. But you have to prove to your parents that you're good, because in his school, they just did their Ballon d'Or and he was among the first 30. So I think that's how they choose Ballon d'Or. It has to be 30 people, right? It depends. He was among the first 30 people. So that one has shown me that he's doing, Shebi? Is it? That's the process. So if in a school, maybe there are 100 and something and he's inside first 30, no problem. So when I went to America, when he said I should buy him Nike white socks that they are using to play football, he asked for 10. I bought 12. So you have to prove to them that you know what you're doing. You're not just going to, I'm sorry, sir. Maybe you want to say you want to do makeup artist. That the whole Nigeria now every girl is a makeup artist. They are dragging box up and down. I didn't say makeup artist is not good because they used to do me makeup too. But then if you tell me as a parent you want to do makeup artist, I'll tell you what happened to other things. So it depends on what you want to do. And even the makeup artist, if you're doing it well and you design your mother's face very well for her one day, she by herself should be the one telling people, come oh, my daughter is a makeup artist. So we don't fight parents. We don't become rebellion to parents. We put our heads together and then show them that we know what we're doing. But remember, do what they want to. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ma. So we will not be taking any questions anymore. Before we move forward, let's just recognize this very important person. He's the project lead for JECA 8, Sadiq Olamilekon Isiak. So moving forward, we will have the creative team, or would I say performance group, to come forward and for their presentation, please.
Long. Our story was told through lenses that were not our own. For too long, the rhythm of our drum was muted by distant echoes. But a new dawn breaks, a new song rises from the very soul of this great continent. My brothers and sisters, my sons and daughters of this blessed soil, the time of whispering is over. The moment for bold pronouncement, for decisive action is now. We have inherited a legacy of strength, resilience.
Hello, everyone. I believe we have Aluta people here. Aluta continua. Aluta continua. So my question is, continue to where? The title of my piece is, My Leader No Be Title. My leader no be title. They say, my leader, our heads bow, not from respect, but from habit, from fair dress, there's loyalty, from make I no go offend them. They shout, Aluta Gbosa, but it is empty thunder, noise without rain, the kind that stirs no root, only dust. Across Africa, we know the game, cause someone capacity, even if the only thing they are full of is pride and high time. Once they win the vote, my guy, we'll get manifesto. Suddenly, they are too big for the queue, too wise for correction, too busy for the same people who stood in sun to make them somebody. Ask for receipt. No project, no reform, just surveys with titles and captions dripping in ego. But I have seen real leaders too. The quiet ones, the ones who shows up, the ones who had 100 naira for someone's project printout without making it a speech, the ones who cleans the lab after everyone had left without announcing it, the ones who fixes water in the hostel without a camera, the ones who speak truth to power and still greet the cleaner, good morning, ma. Leadership isn't in the agbada of your campaign. It is in your footsteps when no one is clapping. So next time you shout my leader, think well about who you are praising. Not be everybody where they wear shoe. Sabi the road. And capacity without compassion is just noise in fine clothes. Thank you.
There is a seal of power. And we have heard as kids that even though the wrong tried to dominate, we would become. You are the next generational leaders, they say. And like a constant bell ringing in our heads, we believed that it was true. With no clear path to freedom, the educational sector had left us cramming and memorizing syllables that held no real value. Education was subjected to the norms, and even when people were willing to sacrifice, it made no difference because they had no say. All they taught us was how to go to school without having the academic knowledge of what we wanted to become. They never taught us the art of influence. They didn't teach us how to multiply wealth. They never told us that our mindset had to continually evolve to make a difference. And even when great educators arose, all they had to do was just watch us around, and they didn't even have the systems to make changes. All our parents showed us were the blueprints to make wealth. They told us go to school. They told us get a degree, get a perfect job, and earn just enough to survive. That became our definition of success. And even though we were stuck on that page, even when we were bonded by the cages that would make us go through, we could not still become. And so, tell me, does that make us the next generational leaders? Make the math make sense. Abi, we never tire to dey follow Oga commands. And as far as our eyes can see, tell me, what do you see? Because the yoke will be broken when you have grown so fat that you now see the truth. The yoke broken because you've been constantly fed. So innovation will silence intimidation. Strategies will rise above mediocrity. This mental cage that have been shattered by new pages will be crafted for us to engage. Africa is making a history. We are taking responsibility. And Africa is waiting for the brave to rise. Let us see beyond the skies. Anthony Elumelu said that to the young Africans of today, the future belongs to you. You must seize the future to shape the destiny of our continent. So tell me, how far do you see? Are you willing to take the throne?
Before you knew me, I began walking across this land. I thought I knew the path well like the palm of my hands. And as I journey across this land, I've heard readings and tones, words from the hood who try to put me in check, us on oath, while we were being told that we are the future leaders of a greater tomorrow. And that tomorrow, if we fit measure perhaps the height should be as high as Mount Kilimanjaro. I beg. Spare me the shenanigans, or are we not tired? We were invited to a game of throne by men in whose hand were mere pawns, nothing more. We did not even have a say of our own in choosing who we want to become. And this great evil is slowly making us go insane, getting away our youthful days. We are not even Arubojo, yet we are beginning to grow white hairs. Do you not see that little boy? With just 5 loaves of bread and 2 fishes. That's all that is got. Do you not see that multi-talented child giving it her all? Does she really need to know somebody that knows somebody? Or does her daddy need to be the head of an oil and gas company? Be a politician to shift history, policies, system, things, problems that need to be solved. Do you not see that if we keep this up, then for us and the future, the only thing that we'll see is suffering in a picture? And I am telling you that Africa has whatever it takes for the change that our world seeks to taste, to break free from systems like confinement chains, up as fire, cold as ice, burning on our inside and swine. So warriors, first of all, please, we need to fight this plague called African time. So warriors, on your mark. Are you ready? Loyal to your calling. Are you brave and true? Are your armors on you? Because the next call says go. So let this roll call rise in sounds and tunes from this Africa state to taking over kingdom for every voice, for everyone. Because even the violence have to take things by force. So I ask you, are you ready? Because we are the faces that will shape this day.
Thank you very much. Thank you so much for that beautiful presentation. I'm very sure all of us enjoyed it. Right? I'm very sure all of us enjoyed it. All right, moving forward, we'll be going to the last speaker for today. Last speaker for today. I did not say that's the end of the program. We'll calm down. I said last speaker. Well, he is a result-driven entrepreneur from Delta State, co-founder of one of MENA's most exquisite salons since June 2023, namely Refined Looks. He also founded the Growth Hub, a platform empowering individuals to unlock the power of their minds and achieve 10x growth in their careers, transforming over 50 young people into professionals and high earners across health, tech, and marketing. With thriving investment in real estate, transportation, and agriculture, he is passionate about building ventures that help people build skills, earn more, and thrive. So in the next 20 to 25 minutes, we'll be listening to this space setter by name, Mr. Patrick Egurefa.
Thank you so much. Thank you. We can all be seated, standing on the existing protocols. I want to say thank you. Can we all agree that Mr. Jewel and Mr. Adeolu has done like a good job in putting this up together? Can we please put a round our hands together for them? Thank you. Yesterday I was at Crusaders FM, and one of the staff there was saying, "You'll be speaking alongside Mrs. Aisha." I was like, "Mrs. Aisha." And then the person was like, "Mrs. Aisha, Mrs. Aisha." I was like, "Mrs. Aisha Wakaso, okay." And she was like, "Don't worry, you love her when you see her." And I must admit, I've already fallen in love. Thank you so much, ma. Thank you, Mr. Sam. Thank you, Mr. Akin. Thank you so much. Heard a lot about you. Thank you, Jewel. Thank you for having me here. Please, a round of applause for them again. Okay. All right. I'll start by saying that this meeting is not about me. It's not about them, right? But it's about you. It's about the action that you take after now. Because you can hear a lot of things and not achieve anything from hearing a lot of things, right? Until you decide to take action. So it's not about your tribe, it's not about the state, and it's not about the condition of the nation. Because I'm being asked to speak how you can escape from a system that is built to keep you stuck. It's not about the nation, it's about you. Are you willing to take decisions that will take your life to another level? Are you willing to take your life in your hands and say, no, I understand the system has been designed to keep me stuck, But I decide not to believe that. It is about you and not about us, because we can speak, we can tell you of our experiences, our stories, and what we've achieved in life. But if you are not willing to put in or take action, right, you will never be able to share those experiences like we've done. I can remember vividly when we're having our general orientation in school, maybe sitting somewhere at the back there, and we had so many speakers upstage here in FUT, and I kept saying to myself, is this how I'm going to leave school? Is this how I'm going to leave school? I wasn't so interested in what was being said here, but I was rather being interested in some kind of impact that I should make, even as a fresh undergraduate. Of course, we're just in our orientation. I should be happy, wanting to explore school. But here I was thinking, what can I do to make impact in this school? I want at least 100 persons should be able to say, right, during his days in FUT, he was able to affect my life positively. So what decision are you willing to make, number one? So I'm being asked to speak on escaping scarcity, building relevance in the system. That also emphasize that we are not just speaking to students. You are the one seeing yourself as a student. If you can see yourself differently, you will stand out. If you can see yourself differently, if you can admit that you could be somebody better in life, you will stand out. So here we are, we're in a room, seated with my friends, 3 of us, having a casual conversation. And one of them go ahead to say, before we leave this school, we have to employ students to work for us. That was in 200 level. And I was like, how? Why even thinking that far? Here we are trying to beg our mom or our parents to give us money for fees, and you're already thinking about being an employer of labor and everything. But after that conversation, it stuck to my mind. There was an afterthought. Yes, we can become employers of labor. And today, right, he's the co-founder of Refine Looks. I'm the co-founder of Employing Students. 80% of our staffs are what? Students. And that was established in 400/500 level. So if you think differently, if you can think outside the box, yes, the system is designed to keep you stuck. I don't have to tell you about all of course, the current trend, Nepo and, what's it called? Nepo and Lapo kids. We're all aware of that, but if you are not Nepo, should be what? You should be Lapo, right? So, irrespective and despite of all these things that you are well aware of, the decision lies in you. Can you see yourself differently? Can you imagine yourself? She was saying something. I'm speaking to future Elon Musk. Do you see yourself as an employer of labor? Do you see yourself climbing the corporate ladder? Because it's what you see about yourself, right, that has the power, or that creates the power inside of you to effect a change. What you see about yourself. The greatest tool you have to escape scarcity is your mindset. Your mindset. Your mindset is the greatest tool. And when we talk about mindset, we're talking about, what do you see yourself as? What do you see yourself as? You see yourself as captains of industry, founders of great ventures. You see yourself climbing the corporate ladder and becoming renowned in that sector. I put up a video on my IG and I was saying, a lot of us get stuck in learning skills, name it, anything you want to learn. A lot of us get stuck because, number one, we never imagine ourselves learning that thing. And number two, we had the wrong motives. The wrong motive. And it all has to do with your mind. With your mind. When they're reading the portfolio, one thing that has helped me, and also in turn, I've used same system in helping others, is the act of working on your mind. I don't know which better way to put it, but you need to gain mastery of your mind. You need to understand what enters into your mind and what flows out from your mind. That is your greatest tool to escape scarcity. You can come from a poor background, from a poor home, or from a rich home. But I want to ask you this question. What says your mind about you? Are you letting others take decisions for you? Are you letting others decide who you will become? Of course they can. But in who have such weight like that? It is what you say you will become that is necessary, that is vital. So when you think about what you want to venture into in life, think possibilities. See possibilities. See it in your heart. See it in your heart. Right, we're talking about refined looks, and I spoke how we started from that meeting. We went ahead to, of course, do the plan and everything, but couldn't execute. Remember, we had the COVID. Remember, we had the strike. We couldn't execute till many years later, or a few years later. Let me not say many, as though it was a long time ago. Few years later, right? And recall, when we're making those plans, we did not have shishi. No money. Somebody asked the question is, how do you start something when you don't have money? You can start something when you don't have money. If you can see it in your mind, if you can imagine it and see yourself in it, doing that thing, that is the greatest currency. That is the greatest tool you have. Because that will drive you, right, to search, what do I have? What are the relationships I have? To search, what do I have? What are the relationships I have? What are the access I have? Okay, I'm getting so stream amount of money. How can I keep it? But if you never imagine yourself, if you've never seen yourself becoming that thing, right, you keep on looking for capital. How many of us are looking for capital to start a business? You keep on looking for capital from now to tomorrow, and nobody will be willing to give you. So look within. Look within. Look inside of you. Say, yes, I can achieve it. By doing so, you will be able to harness strategies, ways by which you can start the business. Let me share this story again about refined looks. Then I start. So we had the vision in our heart, and of course, like we also were trusting God for finances and all of that. At the same time, we're still asking questions. Of course, we went to ask for the prices of shops and all of that. We moved. We saw that we could be able to start something. So we moved. No money in the pocket, but we moved. What we had was the vision in our heart, the possibility in our heart. Then somebody goes ahead to come in and say, hi, Pat, I hear you're looking for a space. Well, I've got a space that's in front of school. He heard that I was what? Looking for a what? A space. Not wishing. I've imagined it in my heart. I've seen the possibility, but I'm not on my bed wishing for somebody to give me capital. I moved. Started sharing the vision with whosoever cares to listen. Some of us, they will steal my vision. Steal what? Steal what? Were there in your heart when you were imagining the whole thing and seeing yourself in it? Nobody can steal what is in your heart. Let me say that again. Let it sink in. If it's your vision, if it's your idea, nobody will do it better than you would. Nobody will execute it better than you would. I'll tell us another story again. Then don't call me a storyteller because I'm not one. So we're having a conversation again at my house in Abuja with my friend, and he told me a story of how. Remember, I'm sharing with you an escape strategy, and I hope you are catching. I just hope you are catching. So he was, we're having a conversation, and here he was telling me how the head boy of their set emerged as the senior prefect, or the head boy, like we all say. So he came into JS1, right, telling everybody who cares to listen that he was going to become the head boy. Everybody, thank you so much, ma. I'll reach out to you, ma. All right, ma. Thank you. All right, sir. If you're with me, can you just wave if you are with me? And if you can relate to what I'm saying, of course, if you want to take pictures with Mrs. Aisha, you can, of course, step out, take pictures, because you might not see her again, right? She might become the next governor or secretary of the state. You want to show her the picture you took with her. Feel free to do that, please. Okay, right? If you are with me, can you just wave, right? So let me continue the story. How many of you are interested in hearing this story? Very, very important. So he goes ahead telling everybody how he wants to become everybody. And notice in that school, there was something peculiar about that school. From the tribe he came from, via his kind of religion, he was not in any way the favorite to become the head boy. Not in any way. Not in any way. Not in any way the favorite. Not in any way. Imagine you wanting to become something, but having no sort of resources. Imagine yourself. That's the kind of story I'm trying to say. Imagine yourself wanting to start something, no resources, no connection, but deeply rooted in your heart is that passion to kickstart that thing. So here it goes. Just 1 passes, just 2, just 3. He's in SS1, and they are now in SS2. He joined the relevant club. One striking thing about the story was that he joined the relevant club. All the clubs that naturally, for you to become the senior prefect, he joined them. He was an active member. And guess what happened for him? They were in a room, right? They were in a room of nominated students that were to become prefects, senior prefects, head boy, and all of that. And the question just popped up. Who do you think among you can become the head boy? Who do you think among you can become the head boy? And everybody goes ahead murmuring. And at the end of the day, right, everybody turned and say, okay, 10 minutes. Everybody turned and say, sir, we think he should become the head boy. What I'm saying is that your vision, your plan, your ambition will not fall from the sky. As you wish for it, you have to take a step, right? You want to become an entrepreneur. As you wish for it, you need to take a step. We don't need to tell you to read books, attend conferences, follow relevant people in the community and all of that, right? If you are actually intentional about becoming what you say you will become, right, you would see ways. You will see escape routes popping up in your mind for you to become relevant. Is that okay? Another thing you need to understand is that, right, our environment, the country, all these things, I call them minor disadvantage. Minor disadvantage. Your life is the product of the reality of your mind. Your life. Help me tap somebody, say your life is the reality of your mind. So we have our disadvantage, the environment, the country, the educational system, but our greatest weapon to escape scarcity and smallness remains our mind. You know, when we talk about scarcity and smallness, we're actually referring to your mind. A lot of us don't have a bold heart. A lot of us are stuck in life because you don't have a bold heart. You have zero willingness to take action. Zero willingness to take action. You are so small and timid in your heart. That is why you need meetings like this. So by the time you put up all your capital together and everything sums up probably to the tune of 5 million, you are not scared. You are not dumping the vision the next day. Rather, you are ready to what? Forge ahead with it. You start with the 100K you have. It can take years, it can take months. But one thing is certain. If you've seen it in your heart and you've accepted it, you can become. So the greatest weapon you have in escaping scarcity and smallness is your mind. I don't want to overshoot, so I'll be fast. You must learn to train your mind to see opportunities. Let your mind see opportunities. You cannot be thinking that you are disadvantaged. Oh, my family this. Oh, no money. Oh, I'm from social department. We don't have much people here, so there's a little we can do. No, no, no. Train your mind to see opportunities. Train your mind to see opportunities. Because there will always be scarcity and there will be need for people to come in, fill in the gap, and bring in ideas. So train your mind to see opportunities. Train your mind. I've done a lot of business. I'll tell you one I did in school. We had scarcity normally in FUT. How I eventually started transport business, right? In FUT, we have this scarcity of movement, going home, there's no vehicle. Some of you go to the park and come. But how many of us have experienced that? So what I did was I saw scarcity. I had to move. I had connections. I had to go to the park, speak to the head of whoever was there in the park then. I told him I needed vehicles, right? Vehicles that will convey students, right, from FUT back to their desired destination. I saw an opportunity and I moved. So when you see an opportunity, it's an indication that something can be achieved. So don't be scared to move. There's so much success on the other side of here. So much success. If you are scared of starting a thing, that's an indication that you will succeed at it. So I go ahead to move. I did that. It's not your time, sir. I'm watching. So I go ahead to do that. And first movement, I think we will have over 20 vehicles. Of course, I made cool cash. I saw an opportunity. I stepped in. And I saw it that one day when I had money, if I have money, I'm going to be able to buy vehicles and all. And that's that story for another day. When you train your mind to do what? To see opportunities. Another thing we should learn as young people is to train our mind to forfeit pleasure. Pleasure. Too much pleasure will not help you. Too much pleasure will not help you. Help me tap somebody again. Too much pleasure, too much COD will not help you. How many of you play COD? Too much of it will not help you. Too much shawarma. Too much sleep. Sleep. Sleep will ruin you. Too much sleep. Train yourself to forfeit pleasures for tangible things. Because why are you not being great? Why are you not being the best? It is because you are not doing what others can do, right? Everybody is sleeping, but you choose not to sleep. Everybody is eating shawarma, but you choose to save the 1.5 to start up a laundry business or something. Choose to forfeit pleasure and do something different. That is the only way you can become the best or among the 1% of the 1%. Enough. A word is enough for the what? For the wise. Right? See possibilities. Let me say this very fast. See possibility in the life of others. See possibility. I just shared you how I was here during orientation, general orientation and all of that. The whole field, of course. Right? Maybe JK8 will not know me. The owner of JK8, we did pre-degree together. That's at Boso. So you see very few people. I know a few others that are also great entrepreneurs. They started from here, right, in Footmina, and they are doing well outside of FUT. So see opportunities in the stories of others. See that you can be even better than them. See opportunities in the stories of others. Don't just listen to stories. Don't just listen to people's experiences and be happy. See a possibility from their stories in your own life. See that if this person can do it, then I can do it also. And I can even do it better. I'll say these two things, then I'll round with this. The difference between where you are now and where you ought to be is your inability to process informations. Right? I'm putting this video on my YouTube very soon where I expatiated this. And mind you, right, if you want to be a part of our community, you can reach, this is the president of, I think, Chemical Student Association, right, Enoch, right? You can do it to reach out to him. We have like limited slot for Tass. I think I told Sir Joel about it. So you want to be a part of the growth hub, do it to reach out to him. You want to be among if you want to be among the next set of 50 that will be raised into high income earners across their various fields, do it to reach out to him as soon as possible. So I'm putting this up like a video. I'm telling people that the difference between where you are now, and notice I've said something, your age is not a limit, right? You've heard that severally, but have you sat down to process that information? How that your age is not actually a limit for you to start what you want to start. So the difference between where you are and where you ought to be is your inability to process information. So many informations will be said. You will read so many. But do you have the ability to process them and turn them into results in your life? Don't hear only, seek to do, right? And the difference between where you are now and where you ought to be is that you are not generating enough power from your mind. That is, when I'm talking about power, I'm talking about power to take action, or impetus to take action, boldness to take action, right? You don't process any information with your mind. You process it with your head. That is when you have so many ifs, so many don'ts. What if not? What if rain fall and the shop scatter? What if tomorrow now somebody now come and say, I don't want money again? Start first. So instead of processing those informations with your brain, process them with your heart, because the possibility lies in your heart, right? It lies in your heart. So when you want to escape smallness or scarcity, the best strategy you have is to harness the power of your what? Your mind. Thank you so much.
Very much, sir. Another round of applause for him. I told you, don't stop clapping until I tell you to stop clapping. Thank you so much, sir, for the speech. We really appreciate. I'm guessing most of us are tired. I'm guessing most of us are tired. Don't worry, I'm tired myself. So I'm guessing most of us are tired then. All right. Let's do a little play. So everybody up, stand. Let's do what mommy just taught us. Stand. ASAP. We don't have time. Okay. So if you're happy and you know, clap your hands. You don't have to clap again. If you're happy and you know, clap your hands. If you're happy and you know, clap your hands. If you're happy and you know, and you really want to show that you're happy and you know, clap your hands. Okay, this one is not working. Let's do another one. Let's do another one. We are all Nigerian students now. You are not Nigerian. We are all Nigerian students, Abi. So give me 3 gbosa. Team, you people my hand have left my body. Please give me 3 gbosa. The word gbosa, you hear how it sounds? It comes with power. You understand? Comes with power, with tenacity. So please give me 3 gbosas. People are not ready. People are really tired. Jesus Christ. I need power. I need to hear your voice come out with force. Give me 3 gbosa. It's all right. Can everybody please have their seats? We are moving straight forward to the panelist session, where we're going to listen to some impeccable minds answer some question that has been bothering some of us, I presume. So to anchor this session, I will be calling up on stage Miss Beautiful Samantha Umar. Please, a round of applause for her because she won the traditional attire day. Thank you, Mama. Thank you so much. Thank you. You know, when I woke up this morning, I said, let me relax first. Then after a while, I'll go and borrow iron that I used to iron. All of a sudden, rain started falling. In the morning, and today is Tass 2.0. I beg, oh. Who did this piece for me? Because I was thinking, how are we going to do this thing? I was not even seeing any message on the group. But then, here we are, aren't we? Please put your hands together for yourselves. Good afternoon, everyone. It has been an amazing day and a day of learning and relearning and unlearning and learning. And I salute you all for staying up till this time. It is no small feat that you all have sacrificed just to learn. And it shows that you believe in Africa because, of course, we are the Africa. So once again, put your hands together for yourself. My name is Samantha Rahama Umar, and I'm honored to be your moderator for this powerful panel session. And it is titled Designing an Africa That Works Across All Sectors. We have two great men with us that will be speaking to us. It's going to be a chat. I know we've heard people talk, we've had speech, but this one now is going to be a discussion. So don't worry. This is the peak of the summit. Are we together? I'm going to quickly introduce them before I take my seat. Yes. So the first person here is someone I hold in high esteem. He's a highly accomplished man and forward-thinking professional with expertise in engineering, business development, data management, and information technology. Currently pursuing a bachelor's degree in engineering and an executive MBA. Please put your hands together for him. Did you hear that? He is currently pursuing a bachelor's degree in engineering and at the same time, an executive MBA. He is a proven leader with experience in founding and managing organizations, structuring business operations, and developing key partnerships. He is skilled in market research, innovation strategy, data analysis, IT infrastructure, and systems administration. He is known for integrity, adaptability, and commitment to growth and innovation. This man that I'm talking about is passionate about using technology and knowledge to drive positive impacts and improve communities. Amazing ladies and gentlemen, can you put your hands for Israel Somto Chukwu Kizito? Please, we can do better. We can do better. Thank you. And then next we have, reading his profile. No, let me not say anything. Listen first. Listen. This man is a leading consultant specialized in developing brand growth and disruptive marketing strategies for tech startups and business brands and big events with over 4 years experience helping even small businesses become global brands. He's an alumnus of the Federal University of Technology, Mina, where he did both his bachelor's and master's in architecture. Can we put our hands together for him? He is the founder of JL Media, Africa's fastest growing marketing agency for tech products, scale-ups, and big events. The Growth Clan, that is the exclusive community for next-gen business leaders and disruptive innovators, and Creators Academy, a training hub for digital creatives. This great man that I speak about attributes the success of his projects to his highly skilled and committed team, who have helped drive results in several high-profile business leaders and industries. His mission is to inspire, build, and empower the next generation to make global impacts and drive meaningful change. Great people, can you put your beautiful hands for Mr. Emmanuel G. Bogun? Now that I have been able to convince you that I'm going to be seated with great men, I implore you to be attentive. And as the discussion is going on and you have any questions, don't worry. They are able and capable to respond to your questions. Just jot it down. And yeah, let's have a nice ride. Put your hands together for yourselves. Okay. Things just got more interesting. 4 of them will be part of the panel discussion. Please put your hands together for them. Thank you so much, Mr. Akin, for your sessions and all the questions that you answered. It is always a delight to listen to you and hear you speak. Thank you, sir. Yeah. And thank you so much, Patrick, for your session too. It was powerful. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. Africa has potential. Who has heard that? Who has heard Africa has potential? News, articles, gists, anything. Africa has potential. It is a phrase we hear often, but potential without strategy is noise. Do you agree? Potential without strategy is noise. Do we all agree? Okay. So, Israel, in your view, what is the one mindset shift African youth must adopt to start building systems that work?
Okay, good afternoon, everyone. I would first of all want to say I'm privileged to be here and privileged to be in front of you. I want to thank the organizers of this event, and I also want to say I'm also privileged to be speaking alongside my mentor on my left, Mr. Akin Thompson. I would like us to just celebrate him. It's a privilege. And then Mr. Patrick, thank you very much for being here. So I will first start by saying the first mindset anyone should have is what you guys have, that you guys are seated here at this time. In all true honesty, there are 2 questions I always ask myself at every conference. Why am I living now? What better thing will I be doing if not being here? And after I answer that question, the next question I ask myself is, am I the most successful person in the room? If those 2 questions don't check out, I am not living that room, and it has proven to be quite effective. So the first mindset is the mindset of persistence. Some of you have come here and you've not gotten what you came for. You can almost feel it that there's still something left for you, and you stay till the end. So very important. I've also heard a lot of questions today regarding the youths and what the government can do and what the people ahead can do. It's very important for you to know that I don't have so much knowledge, but I have knowledge of 2 basic religions, or 2 major religions, Christian and Islam. And one thing I'm very sure of is in every of those religions, the Creator made man, not as a baby or an old man, but as a youth. And it's very important for us to understand that there is so much power in being young. And that is why when God was creating the solution to the world's problem, He didn't create the solution as a child. He didn't create Adam as an old man. He created Adam as a young man. So there's so much you can do for being a youth. Life is not fair. Don't get to the negotiating table expecting life to be fair, which was why Mr. Akin started by telling us that you are in a battle. In fact, for you to be seated where you are, millions of sperm cells were fighting to get to your mom's ovary, and you were the one that got there. So you've been fighting a battle even before you took your first breath. That is to tell you that life is not fair. If any other sperm got there before you, you will not be sitting where you are looking at me. So life is not fair. Life has never been fair. Do not wait for life to be fair. Be humble and not materialistic. You must get rid of the studentship mentality. The truth is, in Africa, every time we talk about being a student, you must be honest with yourself. You only call yourself a student when you want to beg, when you want to ask for money. Someone asks you, what do you do? The moment you say student, you're expecting everyone to pity you. The moment you say student, because you want to collect money from your parents. For every time you have to mention the word student, you have to be honest with yourself. It's because you want people to see you at the receiving end and not the giving end. There's no one I know who wants to give, who starts with I'm a student. So you must get rid of the student mentality, and that was it early enough for me. In my 200 level, I attended a conference in Lagos and I met a woman. And while we were talking, she so loved the thing that I do. And that was because early enough, I knew that I didn't want to enter university being a student. Mr. Patrick talked about wanting to employ students before he finished university. No, my idea was to employ people who were way older than me. I mean, employ everybody. People who have children who are students, employ them so that they can help their children who are students. You don't tie that to an age group or a class group. It's very important that you escape the studentship mentality. Students are the ones that wait till they graduate to be certified by a certificate. But if you know who you are and what you carry, even from where you are seated, you can help your generation. So after the conference, this woman tells me, I love you, I love what you do, and I have a job for you. And I look at her and I tell her, I'm a student, ma'am. And I didn't, the way I told her I'm a student, she was surprised because she was expecting me to ask for money. I said, I'm still in school. She said, okay, the job will wait for you until you finish school. I said, ma'am, I really appreciate you, but this is my intentions after school. Many people want to work, but I don't have a plan to work after school. Today, that woman is a board member on my company's board. And that was because I didn't ask for money. I didn't ask for a job. I pitched an idea to her, and the same person who was willing to give, who could have given me funds for school fees, now invests in the work that I do. So it's very important. It's also very important for you to seek exposure as a student. I know that excursions has been very, very exaggerated since our primary school, but seek exposure for as much as possible. Try to go abroad. Try to go outside the country. Try to go outside Mina. Some of you that did primary school in Mina, secondary school in Mina, you're doing university in Mina now. Save money and just go to Lagos. I told a friend of mine, I said, some family patterns are broken, can be broken with just 50,000 naira. Get 50,000 naira, take 25,000 naira bus and get to Lagos. Some of your family members have never been to Lagos. You can break a transgenerational pattern with just 50,000 naira. But you go to a 12 hours prayer charge and you are praying for something that you can just save 50,000 naira for. The moment you get to Lagos, all the demons in your father's house recognize that you've broken a family pattern without a prayer point. So exposure is very, very important. Lastly, I would say that this idea of being scared of the world, of challenging the world because we feel the world is corrupt, there's no other way it would rather be. You see, you never notice stain on a black shirt. You always notice stain on a white shirt. Have you ever asked yourself why it's easier to notice stain on a white shirt than on a black shirt? Because the moment you see corruption and you see darkness all around you, it means you have to be the light. You have to be the one to show the pathway for the light, because people never know darkness unless there's light. So every time you see the world as a thick place that you have to go into and then the battle is tough, you must understand that people will never know what is not until they know what is. You must be the clarity in a confused world. You must be the light in a world that is full of darkness. So even as you go abroad, go outside, you must have the mindset of not the one who is being helped. Every time you stand before someone, don't think of the person, don't think being the person who needs help. That mentality of you sitting, you need urgent 2K, but just keep quiet. Do not ask for money. Always see yourself from the perspective of what can you do. I told a friend of mine something. I said, for everyone you want to borrow money from, remember that the same person that has money to borrow you also has money to invest in you. You can choose to either be a borrower or you can choose to be someone that they invest in, the same amount of money that your friend can borrow you, and you have high blood pressure every time you call him, it's the same amount of money he can invest in your business. And hope you know there's a difference. If someone invests in your business, you don't get high blood pressure when the person calls you. You explain to your investor why the business is not profiting. But how many of you have felt the heartbeat when you borrow money? It's always very, very, because even the Bible says the borrower is slave to the lender, but it never says the investor is the person who they invest in is slave to the investor. So never have a mindset of someone who seeks to borrow. Always see yourself, what value can you offer to that person? The same money you're asking for can be given to you, and the person can see it as what? As value rather than just borrow. Thank you very much.
Amazing. Can you put your hands together for him? Thank you so much, Israel, for that comprehensive response. Seek exposure. Just like coming to this conference now. Some of us, we don't know if we ever, like, at this where you are now, if they had told you you're going to meet the special advisor to the governor, would you, where do you want to see her? She said she just came back from America. Where do you want to see her? When Tass is starting, you are here in GK. But then coming to a conference like this, you have met with her. You meet with amazing people. So seek exposure. And he spoke about how a conference changed his life. This is another conference. Say, my life must be changed. Ha. My life must be changed. Please put your hands together for yourselves. Okay. Patrick. Patrick of refined looks. Can you see how he's looking refined? I want to ask. Okay. If Africa is a chessboard, we know that you're an amazing entrepreneur. If Africa is a chessboard and we are playing for the future, what strategic moves must young people begin to make today?
Well, I would start by saying think global. Don't think locally, right? A lot of young people, we start up great ideas, but we think GK. And we stop at best, we stop at Mina. We don't even conquer Mina ourselves, we stop at Mina. So don't limit your vision to your immediate environment, right? Learn to think globally. Like, this is just the first phase of, right? We're using refined looks as a case study. This is just the first phase, right? The global stage of refined looks is to develop systems that will help people, right? Majorly in hair growth. So we're thinking about like a world-class standard clinic, right? Specifically targeted to fix that problem for aging men, young people that are bad and all of that. So don't just stop at thinking locally, right? Your vision can start local, fine. It can start in a particular environment, fine. But don't stop at that. So if you see Africa as a chessboard, whereby you need to navigate around with your king, your queen, and all of that, you must learn to think globally, right? Think globally. Study the market in Africa. Study that in West Africa. See how, even if you are not yet doing it, see how you can navigate your brand. That your small, I don't want to call it small. I don't like calling businesses small because it is small to the extent which your mind say it is.
Yeah.
Right?
Sure.
From your WhatsApp status, from your Facebook, marketplace and all of that, you can become a global brand, right? You can become a global brand. I know somebody personally started cupcakes in school, but now she supplies cupcakes to international clients. International clients. I mean, let us sink in. International people call and place orders for specific cupcakes. And like, how did you even, she said she didn't even know how to export at first, but when she got there, she learned. Now the business, you can call that business like a global brand, right? And this is just the starting phase. That business is not even up to 3 years. Something she started in school and all of that. So think global. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. The world is our stage. The world is your stage. Think global.
Sorry, something to add to what he said.
Sure.
There's usually a thin line between, I totally agree with what he said, but there's a thin line between trying to be global from where you are and actually being excellent. So if most times we emphasize the fact that you should be think global as a business, right? But then what that means does not necessarily isn't just that you try to be the Nike of Nigeria. You try to be the Spotify of Nigeria. And from there, like there are some in the Western world, it is normal to pay for software. Subscription for software is normal. But in Nigeria, in fact, in Africa, it is not normal. So if you get the mindset of think global and you execute it the wrong way, which is building a software and solely building the business model around just subscription basis in the process of being global, of course. In the process of being global, try not to forget context. Here you are. What people pay for, people can't even. I was talking to a friend recently, so I just randomly told him that, do you know we are supposed to pay for Windows? And I was like, wait, I think they come with laptop. I was like, you pay for this software, but they don't even know it's supposed to be paid for. So carrying that thing now, that kind of person, telling that person to come and pay 500 or let's say 3,000 every month for a software, it's not a matter of life and death. They can do without it. So in the process of thinking global, also don't forget context. You can draw inspiration from global products. Okay, I like the way the experience on these apps are. I like the way the experience you get. I like the experience you get from trying to purchase from this brand. I want to create that for myself here, for our customers here. So you're not just doing advertisement, and when people come to buy the thing, you just say, okay, send me your WhatsApp, send me your account number, you send them. No, try to create a system for the people around you before you can now, because if you go global, of course, if you don't have a system, you are shooting yourself in the leg. I just wanted to add to what he said. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Emmanuel. Did you guys guess what he said? He really made a very important point. Please hand over the mic to him. So now we're going to be shifting gears to the world of media and digital influence. Okay? I've had conversations and interactions with international bodies, and there's this narrative when you call Africa, it's one homeless boy on the streets with rags. I don't know. And then there's a lady, one charity on Instagram that's trying to debunk these myths. Some people don't know that we have internet too. Some people don't even know that your phone, they don't think that you have a phone yet. So, Emmanuel, narratives shape strategy, right?
Definitely.
How do you think Africa's current media narratives are helping or hindering development across sectors?
Okay, I think that's first of all, I think that's a very interesting question, and the problem with African founders, or I think one of the problem at least, is that we are not intentional about our branding. Say for instance, we wouldn't have known that Steve Jobs was part of the founders of Apple if he wasn't intentional about putting himself out there as the founder of Apple. I don't know if that makes sense. Most of the principles, most of the theories we live our life by are just theories from people who are just very, very, very audible about what they think. And over time, we start to, we just say, okay, this is now the law. This is now the way. So what I think we as Nigerians, because I want to put context in place, we as Nigerians should do is, regardless of whatever you are doing, try as much as you can to be intentional about your branding. What that simply means is be intentional about what you want people to see you as. Be intentional about how to how you would publicize your ideas. Your ideas are just your ideas. Until it's publicized, that is when it becomes, oh, there are so many good things coming out of this state. So many great companies coming out of this state. But when they go out, when they go to other states, because of the bad, and unfortunately, it is the people who don't really have so much good things to say that are always there. The media likes bad news now. Everybody know that one. So when they go out, they don't want to associate themselves with these states or with things coming from like, oh, you guys are from Niger State. No, no, no. We used to be there, but we are, you get. But if we as collectively, we are intentional about publicizing our ideas, publicizing the good things we do, publicizing our business or whatever we do, over time, people start to be like, what? See, and ask what's actually going on. Lagos did not just become Lagos, the tech hub of Nigeria, because there were money there. Money came because they had things coming from that place. They saw products coming from that place. I'm very sure if they are builders, when I mean developers, designers, I'm very sure that you could make at least an MVP of Child Deck. You could design an MVP of Child Deck. But unfortunately, you did not design it. You are here. They are there. You can do it better than them. It is not a game of, I can do it better. It is a game of, does this person think I can do it better? Because people, most times, people would be the ones to vouch on your behalf and say, and usually this comes from context. I've seen him do something like this. So when I was pretty much young, I usually take, I'm a hobbyist photographer. I take pictures a lot, just take pictures and post on my WhatsApp. Over time, I didn't know my other sister was noticing it. Fast forward, a friend of hers organized a master class to just teach people how to take pictures and edit pictures. Without my notice, she registered me for the class. I was just at home one day, she just called me and said, Emmanuel, go to so and so place, start your training there. I was never aware of it. She saw something. What was it? The fact that I was putting out what I did. It's not enough to create. Put it out. You are building a perception. You are shaping. Branding is simply shaping people's perception about you. If you wear suits to a lecture hall for one straight week, I am very sure people would start saying, see this guy, see this girl. She don't make them. You know, see the way she dey dress. It dey form. Yes, let them say you are forming. You get. It is not enough that you know it. That's the reality of people. They think they just sell you in boot camps that if you are good enough, it is a lie. You are only as valuable as what people think, how people think you are valuable. Because most of the times it is them that will actually do the work of helping you get to where you want to get to. I don't know if this makes sense. Okay,
Please put your hands together for him. You are only as valuable as how that. We're not going to end this panel session because I'm moderating without hearing from Mr. Akin. Journey of building and innovating for Africa.
Everyone is capable of learning. Yep. If you worked in the environments I worked, they were extremely hostile. I worked in MTN. I was fighting battles every now and then. I had to threaten people. I was young. I was 20. How old was I? 2001 when I joined MTN. So I was 26 years old. I didn't think I was young. I mean, I was in the army at the age of 16. So I didn't think of myself as young. But imagine working in a multinational or so-called multinational. And then people who are supposed to be your managers are fighting you for a position. Yeah, so I was having a running battle. I saw what it was doing to my colleagues. I think not everybody was ambitious. Unfortunately, I would not say I'm not overtly ambitious. Overtly being, if you look at my social media, you will not see much about me. I prefer to be quiet. Again, I value secrecy. Let's develop in secret and then let's show the world with our products and our impact. So the narrative then was that Nigerians are not able to do this. That's what they kept saying. I got into MTN. Fortunately, I was able to get one of my classmates. He's also a major telecommunications player now. I was able to get him into MTN. Within 2 weeks of him, he didn't want to accept the offer letter. It was, how much did they offer him? 60,000, I think. 60,000 a month. What I didn't tell him was that my own offer was 45,000. I was the first Nigerian to get into MTN network group. At that stage, you just wanted to get in. You had some HR people doing the negotiations. I didn't argue. I just laughed. I said, okay, this is not what I want to earn, but it's a start. At least my leg is in. So he showed me his offer letter. He said he can't accept this, that if they promote him at LinkServe, this is what his salary will be. I told him, I said, Tony, LinkServe is not MTN. Look at this logo. This logo is worth everything. Get in first. And between both of us, I mean, within 2 weeks, they had promoted us, tripled our salaries, given us cars. What they were planning, so they had structured a program of about 9 months training where we will grow into the roles. Within 2 weeks, they said, we are doing all this now. That was the point, bringing all these South Africans. So because of us, they didn't have to bring the South Africans. Look, if you, okay, so everybody here knows Abuja. This is not Lagos. So you know Abuja to Jos. In one night, we activated all the sites from Abuja to Jos. My only driving purpose was that if somebody woke up in Jos and was driving to Abuja the next day, he could hold a phone call all the way down. Now, to me, it was, we're just going to do it. And I was working with somebody who wasn't even in my department. I had a manager in Lagos, Richard Black. He's from South Africa, but he had worked around the world, over 20 years experience. By the time we activated the first 6 sites, Richard told me, he said, Aki, it's enough, we can stop now. This was about 10 p.m. I said, this guy doesn't know, he has no clue what we want to do. Activated the 7th site. Richard said, come, by the way, he has never seen anything like this before. And he has worked 20 years. He actually told me that. I said, we never start. We're going for 13, we're at 7. This was about 11 p.m. We walked until 3 a.m. I mean, it was so bad. My eyes were heavy. I looked at my friend Ismail. I said, Ismail, please come and drive. Ismail looked at me. I said, no. He wasn't even awake. Those were the kind of sacrifices we made for MTN because we had a big belief. It's no coincidence that we are doing quite significant things. But there is a world out there that will tell you that you cannot do this. Because first, you know, when they say, oh, wow, you are different, it's not a compliment when a white person tells you that you are different. I don't like to use the term white and black, but unfortunately, you live in a world where there are people who are extremely stupid. And they'll try and put you in that box. You are fighting a battle. You'll go and speak, you know, maybe you are Chimamanda Adichie, you know, they will say, oh, wow, you speak differently. It's a bloody insult. Why would you tell a person, you see a white person and say, oh, wow, you are different from other white people? I'm not sure you do so. But there is a general concept in technology. We may be good in sports, we may be good in arts, hip-hop and all, but you are not good in technology. So that's why I have that mantra. Everybody is capable of learning. Because it's also easy to carry that mentality from the south of Nigeria and say, no, the Northerners do not know anything about technology. And then you are in the same trap again, thinking that there are some people who are not good. So that's one mantra I live by. And that's why I have a training institute. That's why, and interestingly, training is, look, it's the bedrock of anything we do in technology. Yeah. So, I mean, without needing to say more, you are capable of quite a lot. That's all you have to know. You are capable of quite a lot. And like Israel said, just feel. Yeah.
Thank you so much, sir. Everyone is capable of learning. This panel session, though brief, but heavy and loaded, if we can put into action all that we've learned in this panel session, take me by my word, if you panelists, and thank you to the audience. Thank you to Tass 2.0 for a wonderful and amazing event. The future is not something we wait for, and with the strategies that we have learned from, we definitely know that it is something that we design. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much, Miss Samantha, for that wonderful panelist session. And to our panelists, we really appreciate you all. Thank you very much, sirs. Okay, so moving forward, I know we're about to close. Don't worry, you people are tired. So we are putting people in our chest now, not even our heart. Our heart is too far; it's in the back. So we are putting you in our chest now. So before we take our closing remark, we just want to give this.
Giving them, this platform, which is genuinely deserved by them. And even as we call them forth, I would want us to clap massively for them. Are we together? Are we together? Are we together? All right. I want us to clap massively for them, even as they come forth. So we have Eureka. They are really doing amazingly well in the educational technology industry all over Nigeria. So we'll be celebrating them. Don't stop till they come. Don't stop till they come. So can we celebrate them? Can we have them come? All right. Well, we want them to come upstage now. All right. All right. Yeah, please. Eureka, please come upstage. Can we have Eureka? No. Can we have Eureka come upstage? The mic. Do you need the mic? Okay.
Hello, everyone. I hope we've been enjoying the program so far. So we are from Eureka, and we're about to pitch what Eureka is all about. So before we begin fully, we'd like to do a practical presentation of what Eureka means. Is that fine? Do we understand? So, okay, let's start.
Jesus, C for BNG. Wetin be this? Hey, I don't die. Wetin I go tell my papa? Hey, C, BNG. Hey, Jesus. Hey, I don't die. My papa go kill me. Hey, Jesus. Okay, all the TB, the Jackie. Hey, TB, like I used to do it overnight. See. Make what? This is what you said last semester. Result is not sticky like Titanic. Even Chibo said there is no good Jackie said that's better sticky. Me that is not written now. I don't even know what my dad did say when he was young. See now, my guy, my guy, you ain't talk about result, guy. Me like this, I'll check my results. And so I be like the way they change the boy. I don't see EFCC don't for my result. I beg. If not for like no balance, we will get money. My CGP is so sticky. You will know the food. Can't blind your eye, my guy. Okay, tell me what that night today.
They show for your body. Waiting this guy. Agba scholastic card. Let's do this. We come over here. But bro, like only you 5.0. Only you get money. He no get money. Only you get money. Only you SUG secretary. How you think this now? And he get some people say they sabi the book, but and see they rock their junior or Alexander.
What kind of result is that? I don't have your time, though. Bro, I beg, please tell me how you doing? How you making your?
You guys have not heard it. No, I never heard of. This kind of place was all this now by now.
Oh, guys, no update. Which one? Waiting, they give you money, bro.
They rush won't give you updates. Who try and problem with this one? You never
Come on now.
You never hear of Eureka. Wetin be Eureka? Oh, they miss a lot. Eureka, you need to have found it. Those guys, na top-notch guys, best education technology community for the guys. Those guys, you know how those guys they help, bro.
Guy, chill. How you think they make money? Now my problem.
Calm down, Maka share updates give una mash share. Calm down, mash share updates give una. Oh, una go calm down. I no want this update. They might go. Hey, but honestly, since I've joined these guys, the money what they get now so recommendation for scholarship, even with their app safe, and now so they make money by just answering questions, guy.
Scholarship. Me we get good grade, but I never get any scholarship. All my scholarship just dey turn down.
They never write recommendation letter for you now. Why?
I beg this update. You be money day.
Money.
May we talk.
Guy, money.
Come abeg. I beg. Now you go tell me. Now me want listen to this thing. I beg, my brother. I beg.
Thank you very much. That was a beautiful play from Eureka. I don't know if anybody's still having something to say about Eureka before we move forward. Come up. If you have something to say about Eureka before moving forward, let's go.
I strongly believe in the power of young people around the world to change our societies.
Hello everyone. Hello everyone. You look tired and I can understand. So just a few minutes. Last year we were here for Tass 1.0 and then we spoke about Eureka, what we do and what we've done and what we plan to do in 2025, right? So we don't have time to go into what we have. We just quickly want to present the gifts and prizes for those who won the events we had for Eureka 2.0, Eureka Live, right? When we were here last year, we promised that we are going to hold Eureka Live, and the first position is going to get the school fees paid, the second and third, so many prizes, and we just want to give the winners the prize here, and then we'll leave you to go home and rest. Thank you very much. So please, if you hear your name, can you just step out and accept your prize for being very diligent in excellence, not just academically, but even beyond the academics. So the first position, winner of Eureka Live, an orientation we had for 100 level, they took CBT test, and the person who had the highest score is to be awarded his scholarship. So that person will be Johnson Ajanuku. Are you here? Ajanuku Johnson. Can we keep clapping for him? They had over 300 participants and he had the highest score. So he will have his school fees paid. Keep clapping. Quickly. Who's the next person? Alright, so this is a gift from Eureka to you. Yeah, and we want to encourage you that this is not just about your school fees being paid, right? This is not about giving you so much opportunities like mentorship. This is saying that we believe in your dream and we are going to be here for you and here for every other person to ensure that your excellence doesn't just end in academics. We'll be here to get you to be excellent even beyond academics. Thank you. Yep. Let them see that. Quickly. This way. Quickly, can we have the runners on stage? Donald Osilama, are you here? Can we have Donald on stage? Favor Oga, or their representative, just come on stage. The two runner up, or their representative, just come on stage quickly. Yep. Okay, it's Favor Oga, right? So unfortunately, the scholars could not be here because they are still enjoying their mommy. Two runner up, or their representative, just come on stage quickly. Thank you very much. Just quickly. The leadership summit for students of FUT Mina, and we have some outstanding persons. not just because they were active during the summit, but we've watched them across communities and they've been exceptional leaders. And we believe these persons will not just end up being leaders in their community, their WhatsApp community. And if you hear your name, just come on stage quickly. That will be Faith Angel, Save Outstanding persons, not just because they were active during the summit, but we've watched give prizes and recognition to the outstanding leaders from our local community. And if you hear your name, just come on stage quickly. That will be Faith Angel Savior. Can we give her a round of applause? And Abdul Malik Bello, a token and a gift from Eureka. Can we keep going for them? You have to replay that video. Alright, so this little gifts and the little book for you. How successful people think they really believe that you have the potential to succeed in all that you plan to do and want to be part of that journey. Just keep pushing it, and the sky will be your starting point. Thank you. All right, so that will be it. For want of time, we don't have anything to present, no talk, no inspiration. Just make sure you use everything you heard from Tass to your advantage. Thank you, and God bless you.
Thank you very much, Eureka. That was beautiful. That was beautiful. So you see, should I say hard work pays now? Well, you know, things like this pay. You could get scholarships, partnerships, sponsorships, different things. This is very rewarding and that is very encouraging. Thank you so much, Eureka. Next, we'll be calling on Run Club. It's going to be represented by Esla. Please, can you come up?
Okay, good evening, everyone. All right, so I want to say a very big thank you to the visionaries of this event. They've done a very good job. From all the listeners I've spoken, they've done really great to open our minds and impact meaningful knowledge. So my name is Esla Dankuji. I'm the founder of Eslatra, a software company. We focus mainly on sports and... Can you hear me? Okay, sorry. We focus mainly on... My name is Esla Dankuji, a founder of Eslatra, a software development company. We focus mainly on sports and agricultural solutions. So today I'm bringing to you one of our sports initiatives. So as African population grows rapidly with youth making significant portion of it, we clearly see an opportunity to empower young people through health movement and in the community by stepping into the sports ecosystem. So we've created a Run Club, a vibrant community of fitness-minded individuals that run together and build a healthier nation. So in 2 weeks, we're actually organizing an event. That's a 10 kilometers run and 5 kilometer run. And just to make everything inclusive, the 5 kilometers is actually focused to the ladies. So don't worry, ladies, you know, men are not going to pass you there. Whatever they win, you guys are going to be able to get the prize. So with that, I would like to invite you to join the movement. Links will be shared in the group or to volunteer, or if you just want to join your community, you can just contact me or join through the links. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for that brief introduction into the Run Club. It's a sports and agricultural initiative. I'm looking forward to knowing what the agricultural initiative is actually. Okay, I know we're tired, so I won't prolong this. We'll be calling on Sadiq Olagunlakun. Is he available? He has gone. All right. Who is available? We'll be calling on UME. The representation is by Mr. Ijo Kizito, our able panelist.
Well done, guys. Let me short for Universal Markets, One Universal Markets. And the story is very simple. In my 200 level, there was a lady that used to supply comedy, egg rolls. And when she comes to collect her money, they will give her 3 egg rolls back that they didn't sell it. So all her profits, she was losing it on those 3 egg rolls. So this lady was losing money. She eventually stopped supplying comedy because she ran at loss. But then I would go to Boso, and there was a certain place in Boso where people would be looking for egg roll. So I was bothered as to how we can balance supply and demand, because you can have a very good product, you can have the right etiquette, but you can be in the wrong market. So I started to see how can we connect people from one market to another market, and that was where we founded One Universal Market. We've currently done over 690 transactions for 690 transactions for businesses, and we are currently in 4 markets: China, Canada, Nigeria, and Ghana. So right now, we manage the portfolio of about 9 companies, multinational companies, and then we help Nigerian businesses. So we're like a train. There are 4 people. You have the tier 1 producers, which are the guys that produce the raw material, cocoa, 2 of us. So you use a phone, but you don't know, you think you're only patronizing Techno, but there are many components in that phone. Techno had to patronize other people. So they are the farmers that grow the corn. You go and buy the golden mon. You patronize golden mon, but not knowing you've also patronized the farmers that they bought from. So we link all of the people in the supply chain. So irrespective of where you are, you could be a final retailer, a wholesaler, or a tier 1 producer. We are responsible for connecting you across the markets. Just last week, we got registered on Vosa alongside 89,000 other businesses from different companies. So please, as much as possible, those alongside 89,000 other businesses from different companies. So please, as much as possible, those of you that have ideas, those of you that are finding it, if you want to buy coffin, we know the people that sell coffin in every state. Caskets. So it doesn't matter what you are doing. So you can be selling, no, legit, we had a customer who was selling coffin and he was not selling well because people were not dying in that area. But hope you know that by virtue of being a data analyst, there are areas where people die naturally well. You are not the one killing them. You don't know what is killing them, but they just die more in those areas. So our job is to connect people, basically. So a lot of times your business is not bad, your idea is not bad, you are just in the wrong market. We sell electric vehicles now, very affordable electric vehicles, and we have our own phones, K-Mobile. I don't know if you have seen K-Mobile ad anyway. So the people that produce our vehicles that we work with in China, nobody in China uses their products, but their market is in Peru and in China. How many of you eat pear? Ube in Igbo, one small wine, this thing. Now we have people who are shipping pear to Brazil. Everybody is eating pear and throwing it away in Nigeria, but pear is very sought after in Brazil, and the same thing with palm oil. Palm oil is very sought after in country. So please feel free. We are collecting IT students. We opened our Mina branch at Castle. We have branch in Abuja, Mina, and Abia State. So as much as possible, if you're on IT and you are looking for an extra work to do, you want to gather the experience, feel free to reach out to us. Thank you very much. In China uses their products, but their market is in Peru and in China. How many of you eat pear? Ube in Igbo, one small wine, this thing. Now we have people who are shipping pear to Brazil. Everybody is eating pear and throwing it away in Nigeria, but pear is very sought after in Brazil, and the same thing with palm oil. Palm oil is very sought after in other countries. So please open our feel free.
Thank you very, very much. So next we'll be calling on, USP Company by Paul Umar.
Right, so good evening, everyone. Good evening, everyone. How are you doing? I'm very sure we are, stressed out. All right, so my name is Paul Umar, and the current academic coordinator of Joel Academy, and also the founder of USP Company. What we do now, what we do in USP Company is literally the spraying of cars. That's what we are into as at the initial stage, but then to the next 10 years from now, and
some announcement as regards what we will do. Part of what we'll do in today's summit. Part of it was from the end of the Pan-African Impact Youth Bootcamp that was held, a 3 weeks program. We said we were going to give out certificates to participants. We still have people around. Pan-African, you're an attendee, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, 6. Are you guys FootMina based? All of you are FootMina based. If you are not FootMina based and you attended, let me see your hands. All right.
Okay, so this is what will happen because of lack of time and all. We would. Can you come up stage right now? Can you come up stage right now? Yeah, just for recognition. Please come up stage. Let's clap for them. The next, we have Joel Academy, right? Which is kind of a key partner with the African Student Summit. They actually had a 100-hour study challenge from the month of